What's up, JoJo?
It's crazy how just the time flies. Friday at noon, here it is.
Yeah.
So for the next 3 hours, sit back. We're going to laugh, have a good old time, and get you ready for the weekend that's happening with some really nice weather that's happening on today. It's nice outside. Dew point at 68 right now. And then today's forecast, Chaser, mid-80s, a little bit as normal, and then we move on.
We got a slight breeze out there. Joe, would you say it's a Chamber of Commerce kind of
I
day?
would not,
Okay,
because it's cloudy.
It's a little cloudy.
And by the way, Lisa Spencer, she's stepping down next week or in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Saying bye-bye.
Is she going to actually step down?
She is. She's on a platform.
Oh, okay.
So she will step down and then be gone. That's how it works.
We're just seeing that at the thing about, and I'm sure it's like this in certain cities, but forever we had Demetria and Chris Clark and Hope Hines and Rudy and Bob Mueller still there, and Ann Holt, and I mean all across the board. Scott Couch has been around forever. So it just
time moves on, man.
Does.
What's that Tracy Lawrence song? Time
marches on.
Time marches on, and they do. And so everybody grew up with. I ran across a reel the other day, which made me so excited. The best talk show that's ever been around was Dan Miller's talk show. You were too young.
I've heard about it.
I don't think you were even born. It's called Miller and Company.
Yeah.
And I found the YouTube of Jimmy Buffett and Dan Miller talking about, it was like 1983. It's fascinating. I'm like, there's Buffett, there's Dan Miller, man. Worlds collide.
Well,
great worlds.
I remember when it was either when Dan passed away or Chris Clark retired, or maybe both, that they talked about that there was an episode in the 80s that Chris actually went on the show because they were really good friends.
Right. That's cool.
And how such a big deal that was because they were, Channel 4 and Channel 5 were fierce competitors.
Yeah, but 4 destroyed all. And they were so powerful. Their ratings were like a 75%.
4 was?
Yeah, huge. Yeah.
So to have Chris go on, that show was a pretty big deal.
Heck,
and Chris, when Dan died, I remember Demetria, I think, interviewed Chris.
Yeah. Well, I remember when Dan died, all the TV stations, we all worked for Channel 4 that day.
Yeah.
So all the Channel 4 people could go to the funeral.
Yeah,
we all worked. So that was 2009.
He, Rudy, and
Terry
Bolger were in Augusta.
Yeah. And right in Dan's hometown in his neighborhood, and he passed away. Just a terrible thing. But those guys, were larger than life, and that's what it is. But a lot of cities have that same kind of feel of you grew up knowing the newscasters, and times change, and now so many people come in and out. You told me a girl at Fox 17 that's now gone that was there a year. They just move on and they go. And so, but anyway, we're here. It's all that matters.
Yeah. 9712 says no love for Ralph Emery. There's all love for Ralph Emery.
So they did, after Ralph's show one time, somebody went back and added up all, because you had to send in your diaries back then, right?
Yep.
In the radio world, that's why Jerry House every Thursday at 7:10 would have the big contest. And people are like, why are you doing it on Thursday? Well, Thursday's a day you had to mail in your diary. You had to mail it on that Thursday.
That makes so much sense.
So now it's on front of your mind to mail it in. And somebody did a thing with Ralph Emery. They said his ratings would have been between 90 to 92%, meaning every TV in Nashville would have been watching the Ralph Emery show. Those were unprecedented numbers. We all grew up on it. Hell, I've told you in my life, I'm starstruck by 2 people, Ken Stabler and Tom Grant, who was on the Ralph Emery show. When I met Tom Grant, I couldn't talk. I was like, and Tom Grant now we're really good friends. He's a great man. And I'm like, oh my God, you're on the Ralph Emery show with the Soap Sisters, who end up being the Judds. Lori Morgan was on there, Kenny Starr.
Oh, yeah.
And then Tom Grant. And man, we love Tom Grant. And so this is but again, every city has that. Every city has that guy. Like in Cincinnati, it's George Clooney's dad.
Yep.
He was the news guy that people loved and forever, and still beloved in that city. So it's just, we're lucky to have those great people here in our area.
Indeed we are. 615-737-1025 is our phone and text line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. If you're new to the area and you're just tuning in, this is what this show is.
Yeah, right.
You never know where we're going to go with it.
Right. You never know what happens.
And that's okay.
It is okay.
Finally, you can have a grid that you go by, and you can have a whiteboard where you put stuff up there and Pick and choose.
Or you could have Mike Sando call in. I mean,
Yeah,
it
you
all
could do
works
that.
that day. Do you see LeBron sign?
76ers.
So this is the funny part. Somebody said this to me.
Oh, I like your new glasses.
Thank
Those are
you.
good.
LeBron's getting $3.9 million, the veteran minimum he can get. And they said it's now official. Kentucky's Milan Momcilovic is due to make $6 million. So the Kentucky basketball players making more. And I know LeBron's getting the veteran minimum. I get all that. He's worth hundreds of millions. But here's the thing now. When we watch college sports, and good for LeBron going to Philadelphia, if you watch a Tennessee football game and player X has a nice game, is the first thing you do now is wonder how much they're paying him? Because that's what I'm doing, and I don't like that.
Yeah, probably.
I don't like doing that. I like wondering player X, he's from Sevier County, and he's a great kid, and blah, 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 instead of, how are they paying him? I mean, how much is he getting? A lot? I mean, I want to know. And then you go in a deep dive with I don't like doing that. But that's what they've given us to do now is how much these guys are getting paid.
And it's funny, like I don't play too many video games anymore, but the college football one.
You grown up?
Yeah, well, yeah, but the college football one I'm into.
Right.
Like, and I know Nick plays it a little bit and Connor and, others around here. But the recruiting now, they have these little, like you have a bank of NIL that you have to, when you're recruiting, whether it's the portal or high school kids, of having to pay them. I'm like, this is crazy.
And they incorporated that into a video game.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Now, see, it used to be, do you want to pay so-and-so under the table? No, it didn't actually do that, but that's how it was. That would have been funny.
Oh, I got a lot of jokes for that. Nick Saban.
Yeah.
And, that's part of the game, part of the life now, part of what's happening, what's going on.
What would you do if at SEC Media Days this week, he's sitting on the set and they ask him about, the change in college football, and if he had just said, you know what, I'm not coaching anymore, I'm just going to say it. It was a lot easier when we were paying these guys in McDonald's bags.
No comment.
Because there was a prominent coach that I had the opportunity to hang out with one time, and in a very social setting, and he was telling the stories of when he was a player, that on weekend, like Friday would come around, and it was always the strength coach, because nobody could touch the strength coach. The strength coach was, you didn't even, you never suspected him, but he knew everything going on, and that they'd go to the weight room and work out, and when they get done in their gym bag, be an envelope for the weekend.
Okay, you got to tell me the coach during the break.
I will.
Okay, I do know that this is the rumor back in the mid 80s that they had hired some Vanderbilt football players in the mid 80s to landscape Vanderbilt Stadium, make sure the grass is cut at Vanderbilt Stadium. Only one problem: it's turf.
I remember you telling me that.
So that was the thing. Like, they're paying the guys land, make sure the field's up to par.
Oh, that's cool. That's nice that they're taking care of them.
Look, Ricky Bobby, man, if you ain't cheating, you ain't playing, or whatever the line is that he had in there.
Eddie Guerrero, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
Yeah, right. So that's, but again, I always laugh at the one that I was told that this has nothing to do with money, but about Saban. When Saban went to recruit Dante Hightower down in Marshall County, so you couldn't talk to the players at this time. It was a secondary violation. And the rumor has...
You had to talk to the coach, right?
You had to talk to the coach. You could not talk to the player, especially during practice. So, Saban drives up, walks to the middle of the practice field, asks where Dante Hightower is. Dante Hightower comes over. The head coach, Saban, Hightower, have like a 20-minute meeting on the practice field during practice. That's what I was told.
Yeah.
And that is a secondary violation. And Saban got in his car and left, went on.
But see, here's the thing. They knew they were all doing it. And it's like, what do you like? Are you, it's kind of like, if you have 10 cars that pass a cop on the interstate and they're all doing 90, is he going to pull them all over?
No, you get one.
Yeah, right. So, that's just kind of what it is. You just don't want to be that one.
Yeah. Somebody we know very close turned Vanderbilt in when they were recruiting Jordan Rodgers. Jordan Rodgers was visiting a school in our area, and they took Jordan Rodgers to the airport While at the airport, Vanderbilt came and picked up Jordan Rodgers, which was a violation. This coach found out about it and turned Vanderbilt in, and they got a secondary violation on Jordan Rodgers.
I have a feeling I know.
And it was not Middle Tennessee State, but a school in our area that Jordan Rodgers was visiting.
Okay, I think I know.
And then he got word that it was set up. They dropped Jordan off the airport. Vanderbilt picked him up, which you could not have done. And he turned Vanderbilt in. They admitted that it was a secondary.
It's either
violation.
up 24 or down 40.
It is
or
up
40.
65.
Oh, yeah. Okay. That makes sense.
Yep. And I think it was Jimmy Frank.
Yeah,
Shocker.
That would have been, 100%.
So that was when Jimmy Frank Caldwell was gone, and Jimmy Frank was there at Vandy.
Jimmy Frank breaking rules. That's
never
crazy.
do that. Never
He
do
would
that.
Never do that.
Remember Zeppos gave him the
take that back.
Zeppos gave him the rocket ship. Whatever he needs, we're going to buy him a rocket ship. And you see Franklin in his mind going, if I win for 3 years, I can get out of here and go someplace. Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Rocket ship, whatever.
And you know what? One of the smartest things he ever did was he canceled. Was it Ohio State they were supposed to play?
Yes.
He canceled that game
and picked up Northwestern.
Yep.
Was that right?
Yep.
Very smart.
It was very smart.
Because it was winning the 4 non-conference games, somehow find a way to win 2 SEC games, and then you're good to go. And that's what he did. It was brilliant. It's a brilliant move for him. Because Vanderbilt at that time going 6-6 into a ball game was perfect. And they did. They went to a ball game all 3 years he was here.
Joel says, Chase, we'd all know you'd totally have a NASCAR driving simulator in your house if you wanted to spend the money. Damn right I would. I'd get the good stuff.
Right? With the massive, huge screen.
The ones that moved.
Oh, yeah.
They
like
have
your own
ones.
IMAX.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of the guys at their houses, they have their sims that, like, when you hit a bump on the racetrack, like it bumps in the seat.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's cool.
Like Denny Hamlin's is like fully like it. Like if you're on banking, it'll turn and
they showed a graphic during the IndyCar race how the rubber pellets go to the wall. And if you get into the wall, the rubber pellets will make you spin out.
Yeah, because it's marbles.
And the guy was talking about that, and the car spinned out when he was talking about it.
Yeah.
I was like, man, talk about timing that way.
They usually refer to that as up in the marbles.
Up in the marbles.
Because that's what it feels like.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So.
But how do you get those pebbles off? You don't, right?
No.
But
they naturally just kind of go up against the wall.
Is that why people pass underneath? Because you go up top, you can't pass if you get into the marbles.
On some tracks, it's like it's hard to run the wall.
How about we turn that into you lost your marbles?
That
if
works
you
too.
wreck.
Let
me call. Is it Borchetta? Let me call him real quick.
Call him. What is our question of the day?
So last night I had the great fortune to speak to Mount Juliet High School last night. Thank you for everybody out there. I saw our good friend Coach Trey Perry. Had a great time there last night and talking to the kids. You know, these kids today in high school are great kids. I'm telling you, compared to us, they are great kids. I'm telling you, we were in trouble. Not probably your little generation, Chaser. Not so much Dr. Crane because he's what? Did you turn 20 yet?
Yes,
okay.
7 years ago. Going on 8 years ago.
Oh, okay, good. Good to see you today, buddy.
I thought he was like 65.
Some have said 97.
So I was talking last night to a parent. I said, you know, it's when I was 16, my whole world revolved around a fake ID. So I was curious, did you have a fake ID growing up? Where did you get it? Did you use it? Were you scared to use it? Did it get taken away? Did your parents ever find out about it? Did you or did you not have a fake ID growing up? I had a fake ID at 15. And it worked.
What was your name?
It worked. It was Joe
Dubin.
Yeah. But that was
the birthday was just different.
Birthday was different. They didn't look at anything. It was so my fake ID. I got my fake ID in Panama City. We all got our fake IDs. Some big fat guy would sit there and stencil in. You take a picture with the Tennessee background behind you. You pay the guy $25. It'd make you a fake ID. We all had fake IDs.
Had a laminator, probably.
Yes, we had it all. That ID worked forever until I lost it. It worked forever. So did you have a fake ID growing up, and did you use it? Were you scared? Did your parents ever find out? Because these kids today, they're good kids. They're not doing what we did. They're not going to SDI and buying a porno magazine because they're 16 years old. They're not doing that stuff. And they're not going to the internet either.
Because, I was about to say, because all that's gone.
Yeah, good. Really. These are good kids, man. We were awful.
I I believe the statute of limitations has probably passed on
Yes.
what I'm about to say. I never had a fake ID because I didn't need one. There was one spot in the borough, especially when I got into college,
Okay.
that I looked old enough, and they pretty much just
Never once.
no.
Place still exists?
It does.
Okay. All right, good.
So all my friends would send me, and I'd walk out with 2 cases of beer.
Did you ever get nervous?
Oh, all the time. There was one time I walked in and I was walking towards the beer and a cop walked in after me and I was like, nope, not doing this.
Oh man. Did you take a little cut? Like, I'll do it for $5.
Yes.
Good.
Oh, of course I did. I ran a little business.
I met you 14 years ago. You look young. Can't believe that this worked.
When I had the beard, I looked probably 21.
Okay.
But like I looked old enough.
And the place, so tell me during the break. I need to know the coach and the place where this is during the break.
I'll give it.
Dr. Crane, you look 13.
You still look 13.
Yeah.
Like, you had no chance.
Yeah, I did not. I've never owned a fake ID, nor did I ever try to
See, good kids.
use one. But
Yeah.
whenever I go visit my friends up at like Knoxville, excuse me, there was a bar called Uptown, I think is what it's called. And they had this one universal like fake ID they'd use for all their friends from out of town. It was like Joel Stevenson or something.
I love this.
And the gray ID, it was like from Idaho. And it basically the bouncer was like, do you know the name? I was like, yes. And I just walked right on through. I know who it is. And the face was so grayed out for the little picture on the ID. They were like, we can't even know if this is you or not. So he's like, you know what? Go on. I was like, okay.
See, you did kind of have one then a little bit.
It was a universal one for like all the friends. So
do you know when I was a bartender how I stopped fake IDs? I would ask everybody, what's your zodiac sign? It worked because everybody knows their zodiac sign. What's yours?
I'm a Leo.
You?
Cancer.
Scorpio. We all know. We all know it. If you stuttered or stammered, I knew you were not. I was like, I got you. And they didn't know it. That's how I got by carding people when I was a bartender. If you do not know your zodiac sign.
So I did have something funny happen when we were up in Evansville. So where we do our manager meetings is a casino.
Right.
It's a hotel and casino. So the bar was in the back of the casino. We'd all go hang out after meetings. And so we're walking where, there's a guy that has to check your ID. And I'm with Chris Atticus. I think Sean Fort's with us and Cindy from our sales staff. And so we get there and Cindy's showing her ID and they usually don't ask me.
Right.
And so they ask Atticus to see his, and I do the Star Wars. You don't need to see his identification. And the guy goes, I don't need to see yours, but I do need to see his. And I'm like, he's older than me.
Oh, man. Gotcha. That you get by dropping one of your nerd little things on him. The guy wasn't going to play around with
it was funny. I was like, well, the gray, I guess, is doing me some good.
Did he card you?
No. That's what he said. He's like, I don't need to see yours. You're old enough.
Well, they're supposed to card everybody. I mean, even when I go buy cigars, I got to show my ID.
I think up there in Indiana, it was if you look under a certain age, they have to. Remember, it used to be that way here, and now they just started. Like when I first turned 21, it was if you appear to be under the age of 40. Well,
so that's a judgment call.
Yeah,
I just card everybody.
And then my dad loved it when they changed it and they ID'd everybody, and he'd get all excited.
Yeah, it's an easy way to do that.
He would always give out his birthday followed by AD after it.
Well, it's funny. I knew the Metro officer that went in that would buy beer, and he looked like 15. He was like 32. He'd bust people left and right because they wouldn't card him.
Yeah.
And he'd go in there. He looked so young. And then they wouldn't you get past this, and then boom, you'd nail him.
All right. Well, I can already tell this is going to be a great show. Joe Campbell is going to join us in about 10 minutes.
One of the best high school players of all time in our city.
Yeah, we'll tell you why. And then 1 o'clock, Chris Sanders. 2 o'clock, Pete Weber, voice of the Predators, will join us as he's receiving yet another honor tomorrow. And we'll talk about that. It's Chasey Big Joe on a Friday, 105 The Game. Chasing Big Joe 1025 the game on this Friday. We're having some fun with this one.
Dr. Crane, does your the Warren Brothers get money for like 30 cents for you playing this?
Probably. Yeah. How you doing, Mr. Brad? Good to see you.
All right.
Chad says my fake ID grew on my face when I turned 16. That was the thing. Whenever I grew up, if I shaved it now, I have a baby. I still have a baby face.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. But at the judgment call of people like, oh, he looks old enough. That's how you get in trouble. That's why you just card everybody.
But see, that was my generation, like my age, was probably right on the edge of all that changing. Your generation, nobody cared.
Nope.
Like, my dad used to tell me stories all the time that, he and his buddies, they all knew like a young cop that would basically come pick him up and take him home.
Yeah.
Or follow him home.
That's why I'm telling you,
times have changed.
These kids today are fantastic. They're not getting in trouble like we do, like all the time.
4567 said, I had several fake IDs, was buying beer at Mapco's all over at 17 and 18 years old. One didn't look like me. It was someone else. Once I recited the social security number, they would proceed with the sale. Dustin in Hopkinsville, let's see, says no, but as I've stated, my looks got me plenty of liquor. My girlfriend took me into play in Nashville one time. If you know, you know. I didn't buy one drop of alcohol all night, and I was wasted. Honestly, one of the funniest times I've ever had.
Where did he go again?
Sounds like play.
Okay. All right.
That's why I said if you know,
you know, you know. All right. Good job, buddy.
Yep. Sean says back in the late 1900s, the night cashier at Kroger in Columbia would ask what your birthday was. No ID.
Oh man, I love it.
Michael and Madison said I card everybody, and the middle-aged women love it. It's pretty sweet.
Oh, that's smart. Good move there, buddy.
Well, I feel like I say this respectfully, but like I feel like women, of course, would love that. Like you know, are you 29? Like that. Like for us, we don't care.
Right.
Like we're just like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah. Just ask.
Yeah. My dad used to joke and be like, like I'm old enough to be your grandfather, but it beats the alternative.
So it's funny how, we've gotten older and there's makeup and there's clothes. I have a picture of my grandpa when he was 50 years old, right? And my grandfather was the greatest man besides Jesus to walk the earth. He looked 90.
Yeah.
And he was 50. And I'm 57 and he looked nothing. I mean, he was much better looking.
But I feel like a lot of people from that generation, you look at them in their 30s and they looked 50.
They did, right?
Like, I don't know what it is.
Was.
Yeah. I mean, like,
that's just crazy. I was like, that's my age with my grandpa. We look nothing alike.
Like, you don't look 57. I'm not just saying that. You don't.
You're gonna make me cry. You're gonna make me cry a little bit. Thank you.
I mean, the skin's clear.
Thank you so much. Well, it's the Toby Keith song that Clint Eastwood, because he told Clint Eastwood, he's like, you don't look 88 or something. And Clint Eastwood told Toby Keith, yeah, I'm not letting the old man in.
Yeah.
And Toby Keith wrote that song.
It's a good song.
Not let the old man in. I was like, that's it, man. Get up, go to the gym, find gratitude, love people, go to church, praise the Lord. It all works, man.
Coming up next, we're excited about this one. We're going to talk to Joe Campbell, who is one of the greatest high school football players in our area. And we will tell you why. He's going to be with Greg Pogue tomorrow. There's a big event at Roy's Meat Service in East Nashville, and we will talk to Joe Campbell. Coming up next, Chasing Big Joe, 1025 The Game. Chasing Big Joe 102.5 The Game here on this Friday. He's Big Joe Dubin. I'm Chase McCabe. Nick Frazier, Dr. Crane behind the glass. And excited about our next guest. If you've been in the area for a long time, you probably know this name. Joe Campbell joins us on the program now. Joe, how you doing?
I'm doing well. And yourself?
We're doing fantastic. Thanks so much for doing this. And before we take a walk down memory lane and talk Stratford and MTSU with Coach Donnelly, why don't you tell us what you got going on tomorrow at Roy's Meat Service over in East Nashville?
Okay. It's kind of it's a community event, and it's also somewhat of a charity event, and it's a surprise. This person does not know that they're going to be the beneficiary of this event. So I'm stoked and excited. Can't wait to see this person's face. Very proud person who probably wouldn't let me do it if I told them it was for them. So, and they didn't ask for it, but you know, I heard the guy earlier say, if you know, you know. And so I know that this will be a great shot in the arm for this family.
Well, that's cool. And we'll obviously just say, go to Roy's Meat Service, which is a great place. We love Roy's, and you go help out tomorrow. So that'll be very, very cool.
And just another thing that, I talked to Roy about it, and, we kind of put our heads together and came up with this. But, Roy is one of with all of the changes going on in the city, all of our old kind of landmarks kind of disappearing, evaporating and everything. Roy's is one of the last strongholds that it doesn't matter if you're black, white, Mexican, Chinese, whatever. They make you feel like you're at home when you're at Roy's. So I thought, man, that just lines up well, because there's no better place to do this than at Roy's. Everybody looks out for each other, and and it's just with all that we got going on in our country today with the politics and the racial BS and everything. I'm just looking forward to everybody coming out and kind of just congregating and reminiscing and just getting together. So I just think it's going to kind of serve two or three different purposes, I'm hoping.
Joe Campbell is with us, and we always talk about, betting on yourself and taking a shot. You played at Stratford High School, and you were recruited, I know, kind of as a DB, but you played running back. You wanted to play running back in college, and you went and played for Coach Donnelly at MTSU, and I'd say that worked out pretty well for you, didn't it?
Yeah, it did, and golly, I was just a knuckleheaded kid, kind of stubborn, and really didn't know any better. And it was always an argument, like if you had gone and played DB. I get this all the time. You played 10 years in the NFL and this out, and I'm just like, nobody knows, because for one, I don't think I would have had the passion at defensive back the way I did running back. I mean, I was a pretty decent defensive back at Stratford, but I played that because I kind of had to. We didn't have many players, and you had to go two ways, and I enjoyed it, but I loved running the football. It's the only reason I played football. So it worked out well. My little run, my little career is what it was and what it is, and I'm proud of it. And I would do it all over the same way. If I had to do it all over again, I'd still play running back. And for the record, Coach Matthews, they offered me, him and Johnny Majors came and offered me, and I told him, I appreciate it, but I played tailback, and like they couldn't believe that. And so years afterwards, I ran into Doug, and he said, "Son, you definitely could have played running back for us." So that kind of validated everything for me anyway.
That's some strong words right there, because they had Chuck Webb up there, not Reggie Cobb up there, and saying you're in that same class is good. We're talking to Joe Campbell today here on the Chasing Big Joe show. All right, so Joe, I got to tell you a few things. At McCabe, we played Stratford. The whole goal was to stop you. We barely stopped you, and we win the game, but you ran over us next couple of years. So we'll talk about that later on. But listen, the guy that cleared the path for you at MTSU was my sweet mate in junior college, and that's Wade Johnson. And
Wade the Blade.
Yeah, right. Wade passed away a few years ago. Salt of the earth, great guy. And I knew Wade very well. And when I found he went to middle, and I was at Sanford, and we'd talk here and there, man. But when I hear your name, I think about Wade Johnson and what he meant to you and to MTSU, because he cleared some holes for you.
He cleared some holes, didn't get a lot of recognition, but Wade, wasn't the biggest fullback in at all. You see Wade was about the size of a good tailback.
Right.
And we called him, when you say Wade, his nickname was Wade the Blade. And we called him Wade the Blade because he would chop you down, Jack. He would cut you in a heartbeat. And Wade wore out many kneecaps back in those days. And he just chopped guys down. His linebacker could be 6'3", 240. I had no fear because I knew lead me up through that hole, Wade was gonna chop those knees. Wade was a great guy, great fullback, loved him to death.
It's funny. He's from Thomasville, Georgia, and that's where Charlie Ward is from. And Charlie Ward called Wade Johnson one of his favorite athletes growing up because Wade was that good and that important. So to have that lead your blocking for you at MTSU, man, I missed that guy. He was a good dude, man.
Yeah, and it's just see, I didn't even know that with the Charlie Ward thing, and for Wade to, because Wade was there a year or two before I got there, and for him to kind of accept his role and do so good at it is a testament to his character, because here comes this little skinny freshman in here, and everybody's tired. I'll never forget when I got to middle, everybody's like, who in the heck is this Campbell kid? It's like,
right.
I guess it's some kind of big deal. He's supposed to go on to UT or Mississippi State of Kentucky, and he's here. And who is this kid? And Wade just accepted me in, and we just took off, and him and Marvin Collier, just a great group of guys to play with.
Absolutely. Talking to Joe Campbell today. Now, listen, are you, I read somewhere that you and Jerome Bettis are pretty tight.
We're decently tight. I met Jerome Bettis through, and let's see if you remember this name, Tim Lester.
Eastern Kentucky.
Tim Lester, yes, played fullback at Eastern Kentucky. So we were at the Rams together. And, Tim was a heck of a running back at East. He could run. And so we were together, and I'll never forget this, man. So we were the two rookies in the backfield, and I was actually like the second leading rusher all through the preseason with the Rams. And so Tim, we would come in, and I'll never forget, Kevin Green was out playing linebacker. And then, defense was they were chilling or whatever. And we were running. So the two rookies, we're going full tilt,
Yeah.
And Tim leads me outside that off tackle play. And Kevin Green's got his helmet not snapped up, his chin straps not snapped. He's chilling. And Tim hits him right in the mouth. Kevin Green looks at him like, and see, what he didn't know there was just a big hurricane in Florida, in Miami, where Tim was from. His parents lost their home. So Tim hits Kevin Green right in the mouth, and Kevin Green jumps and knocked him on his pockets. And Kevin Green jumps up like, "What the fuck is wrong with you, rookie?" And Tim just looked at him and said, "Listen," he said, "we just had a hurricane." He said, "I don't have a place." He said, "They cut me here at the Rams. I don't have a place to go, and I'm sure you're not going to let me stay with you." He said, "So you better buckle your F up every time, because that's how I'm cut." And I was like, "Dude," we get back in the huddle. I'm like, "Man, what are you doing? I weigh 180 pounds. You're going to get me killed." So we laughed about that. God bless him till the day he passed. He passed he died of COVID.
Yeah, that's right.
About 3 years ago. Yeah. So, he was, and Bettis used to take Tim to the Pro Bowl with him. Tim Lester actually led the way like Wade did for me. He led the way for Bettis with a lot of those yards. They called Bettis the bus, and they called Tim the bus driver. So that's how I met Bettis.
One more for me. We're talking to Joe Campbell, one of the best running backs ever come out of Nashville. I distinctly remember this, and I don't know why, Joe, when you guys at middle went down and played Florida State in '91, and they were the #1 team in the country, and the whole country fell in love with Boots Donnelly because Coach Donnelly had all the great quotes and all that. And you guys for almost 3/4, you were toe to toe with them.
Yeah, man, Coach Donnelly did a magic trick before that game. He pulled out all the stops, man, and he was walking around. So that pregame speech, it was quiet, and I don't know if we were going to be led to the slaughter or what, but we were going to fight. And Coach was walking around talking about, Bino Cookie said we was going to get beat by 70 points, and Coach Donnelly's walking through and talking to us, and he's twirling his handkerchief. He's got a little handkerchief in his hand. He's talking, and so at the end of his speech, he balls his hands up and said, "Guys, anything can happen if you just believe." And he flashed and showed his hands, daggum handkerchief was gone. Man, you talking about 80, 90, however many guys we had, we were all foaming at the mouth, and we ran out of that daggum place. And for those first 3 quarters, I mean, 2.5, 3 quarters, we gave them all the hell they wanted.
Yep.
And, we were Scott Borkin, our middle linebacker, cracked 2 helmets. And I usually don't talk about officiating one way or the other because, I always feel like as a player, I can kind of overcome that, make a play. But they literally cheated us that game. There were 2 pass interference calls they should have, offensive interference calls, where they just clearly pushed Jamie Redmond down, caught 2 touchdowns. I mean, it was just ridiculous. But we gave them all the hell they wanted. And side note to that, I got on the bus I went to the combine that year, and we were leaving the hotel, going to the dome. I get on the bus. I got on a Middle Tennessee sweatsuit, and Aunt Lee and Edgar Bennett was already on the bus. So I get on the bus, and they look up, and one of them, I forget which one, was like, Middle Tennessee State. He's like, man, I know y'all won the national championship. And I looked, I said, nah. And both of them looked and said, man, who in the F is y'all?
Right.
Kind of yeah, it was good. I always hold that over the head. So yeah, it was good. It was pretty good. But I'm looking forward to Saturday, man. I'm telling you, I'm stoked, and just to get everybody together over some good fish. My man Bobby Maxwell, will be on the fish, and he's world renowned for his fish. So everybody, come on out, 12-4, come down to Roy's, and let's make it.
Awesome. Well, we're looking forward to it. Thanks for coming on with us, Joe, and we'll talk again soon.
All right. Thanks for having me, guys. See you later.
Absolutely. Joe Campbell joining us here on the program. And again, you heard it 12-4. Little fish fry to help out in the community over at Roy's Meat Service in East Nashville. So check that out tomorrow. We're hyper local on this show,
brother.
and we
Always
love helping out local causes. Well, more coming up next. Chasing Big Joe on this Friday, 102.5 The Game. Little Bobby Brown on this Friday. Good job, Nick. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game. Appreciate Joe Campbell for joining us in the last segment. Gets me fired up for high school football. I mean, it's just a few weeks away.
Well, Joe Campbell was one of the best to ever play the game. We were at McGavick. We were like, you stop Joe Campbell, you stop Stratford. It's easier said than done. And so, actually, Corey Fleming was on that team as well at Stratford, and a lot of good players in our city, but Joe was one of the best. And they showed it by going to middle and what he did there, and then a brief little time in the NFL and everything. So it was good dude, man. Really good dude.
So that would have been what, the early 90s?
Joe Campbell?
Or 80s, late 80s.
What part?
Stratford.
I think he graduated 88 from so it would have been the 85, 86, 87 season through there. And then it's good, man. I mean, that was look, when you're all back then, there's no huddle video. I mean, it was word of mouth. It was like, you should see this guy at Stratford, Joe Campbell. We're like, all right, we'll see him. We'll see him Friday night. And then you watch we had film, and you're watching film. You're like, yeah, okay, he's pretty good. We'll see what happens Friday. So it was like, you stop Joe Campbell, you win the game. But again, that's easier said than done.
Did you in those days remember, like, you would obviously have scouts or coaches from Tennessee and, the schools in the area, maybe in Alabama, something like that. They'd show up and look at somebody. But like I
couldn't talk to you. They'd come
but they'd come watch,
Right.
But I feel like now, because of, like you said, huddle and all of that social media, you'd look and see Oregon or Texas or, Cal or USC or whatever. And you had to be really, really special.
Yeah.
I think if somebody was going to fly halfway across the country to watch you.
Well, I'll never forget, and another high school story, I hate talking about this, but Keith Davis went to Overton High School, was one of the most recruited athletes, running backs ever. And his senior year, we played at McGavick High School. I'm telling you, there's 10,000 people at McGavick. It's crowded, it's packed. And we got word like every SEC school coach is there to see Keith Davis. I mean, there's only 10 schools back then in the SEC. He went to Tennessee and played for the Vols, but they're all there.
And back then, like, the head coach would come watch.
You'd see him on the side.
Like Johnny Majors was probably standing over there.
You see him and you're like, oh my gosh, what's going on here? And you're thinking, man, if I make this block here, they're going to see me. I'm going to get – it doesn't happen that way because they know who you are, because now, you got I could get a huddle video and I could YouTube it to you and you get it, right?
Yeah.
And it's very – back then, you physically visit the school and you talk to the recruits, you talk to the head coach, and all that went on, and you had the film and you could see what happens, and coaches watched hours of film. Now it's so simple. You just get it because we talked to the official coach of the Chasing Big Joe show, and then you just get your laptop, pop it in, and there it is. And you can see what you wanted to see of a player. Like, show me what he does on 3rd and 10. Boom. Show me what he does on 1st and 10 of their own 20. Boom. And it's all there. It's a lot easier today, but it's more pressure because you got to get it correct now.
So there was a game at FRA my senior – no. Yeah, maybe my junior or senior year. I can't remember. And it was pouring, like just absolute monsoon. And I forgot who we were playing, but there was a kid on the team we were playing that was being recruited. And so after the game's over, I go back down to the school. I am just completely drenched. And I remember, like, I had seen, people had umbrellas and whatnot, but obviously I'm on the sideline, so I'm just getting soaked with everybody. And I go down because I always kept a change of clothes in my locker, so I was going to get that. And I'm walking through what we call the commons up in the high school at FRA, and I see this guy in an orange jacket and an orange hat, and I look and I'm like, "Are you David Cutcliffe?" And he goes, "Yes, son. How you doing?" And he was there watching whoever this player was.
Oh.
He was bone dry because he had an umbrella.
So
I'm standing there just dripping, and I'm like, "Well, hey, coach."
Yeah. It's supposed to be after you got fired at Ole Miss.
Yeah, this is when he came back with Fulmer, right at the end of Fulmer.
I wish that had been Fulmer, the Great Pumpkin.
Yeah, that would have.
You just seen him over there.
I met him. There was some event that I was at that I got to meet him, and I mean, you grow up in Nashville, Tennessee, whether you like him or you don't, or you like Tennessee or you don't. They had won the championship and got to meet them. I was kind of like, well, this is kind of cool.
Yeah, it is. Fulmer recruited our junior college, and he came in, And he looked at tape. He looked at like tape, but me, he's like, "No, I'm good." And then like passed on. So like, whatever, man. Just on down the line, pass on a bunch of us. That's fine. I mean, that's
Were you recruited as an offensive lineman?
yes at the time.
And then you also was a long snapper.
Yeah, but I learned how to be a long snapper after high school. I'm like, this is kind of cool. I like this.
Yeah.
And then because you got first release to go down the field and just knock the tar out of somebody.
Yeah.
I just wanted to hit people. I just wanted to hit people so hard that it would just knock them to next week. And that's, we love it. And that's why. But the long snapping part was I could have been a lot better. I was average at best. But I'm telling you, parents out there, if your kids want to get to college, learn how to long snap. If you are a quarterback and you don't have an offer, go be a long snapper.
So
you got a hell of a thrust, man. Boom.
Diego Pavia, if you're listening right now.
He could do that. The Pavia memes in the last 24 hours have been
they're so bad.
Amazing.
But so funny.
They have. And I'm like, Johnny Matthew from Fox 17 texted me this morning. He's like, what's next for Pavia? I'm like, look, the good news is he's released before camp.
Yeah.
So 31 other teams could bring him in to say, hey, we want to do this or do that. That's good for him. He'll land someplace else.
You know what league he would be incredible to watch in? An indoor league.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand that's not what he wants to do.
Sure.
But like the Cats have a great quarterback in Tyler Kolka, for that league.
Right.
But like you think about Pavia in an indoor league, just with his skill set and his size, like I think he'd be great.
I'd take him to Canada tonight. If I'm a Canadian team, I'd sign him tonight.
But I've even read like some people that study and watch that league are like he's too small for Canada.
Doug Flutie.
I
think Pavia is a better athlete than Doug Flutie.
But doesn't have the arm.
Got a pretty good arm.
I mean, but not Flutie's arm.
Pretty good arm.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he could do well in Canada, but if nobody signed him, and they all know a lot more than I do, but I just think his athleticism could get him at that level in Canada.
I think he'll land. I think he'll get invited to another camp. I think that's why Baltimore released him when they did, because they realized, okay, you're not one of our best 4 quarterbacks or 3 quarterbacks, whatever.
Right.
But you probably could land at a camp somewhere. So go ahead and cut him now.
Right.
And, I haven't looked of who all needs a quarterback. I mean, okay, I'll ask this question. Would you rather have Hendon Hooker or Diego Pavia in camp right now?
Yeah, right.
I mean, I'd probably say Hendon Hooker, but
yeah, I don't blame.
But that's going to be a question that's probably asked.
Yeah, I was watching the CFL game last night, Saskatchewan and Edmonton, and Saskatchewan had a 4th and 1. They took their starting quarterback in and put in a little Swifty guy. 4th and 1, ran around the end, got 3 yards in the first down. I mean, I think 4th and 1s now, more teams are going to go for it because they figured out, like, all right, we got the ball, let's get the drive going. Let's bring in a shifty guy who could do this, get the yard and a half, and go forward. Football, there's always a new wrinkle to football. Now it's at 4th. The tush push was great, but now you put in a guy who could go behind the big guard and bounce outside. You're not ready for that. And I think Pavia would do that for a team.
Has the CFL changed to American rules? Because I think that was coming.
Never. 30-yard deep end zone. I mean,
that I know that was something that I think is coming.
No, I don't. I have no idea. I've not heard that.
I'll have
maybe
to look that up, but
I just keep it like it is. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's different.
Well, I think from what I understand, the reason that they were considering that is more NFL teams would look at some of their players.
I've always said forever, the CFL is an established, profitable league. The NFL should somehow leave them alone, leave the teams alone. But the problem is the Grey Cup goes until November. So if you're getting guys, you're not able to pluck guys in August and September. I'm not letting you get my guy. I'm trying to get the Grey Cup. That's the problem. Now, if you go there for a year and develop, that's fine, but it should be like, I will grab you next year. But I'm not giving up Chase McCabe, my quarterback, in early October if I can win the Grey Cup. I'm not letting you go.
Yeah.
That
100%.
So if you start the season earlier, condense it a little bit, maybe finish by August. But again, if you got a guy playing tackle football in April and he rolls into August and NFL picks him up, that dude's exhausted. And you got to give football players an off season. So the deck is stacked against you if you do that. If you go straight from Canada to the NFL, you got to have some time off.
Coming up next, we'll talk to Chris Sanders, forever Titans wide receiver. He joins us on the Chase and Big Joe Show, 102.5 The Game. Hour number 2, Chase and Big Joe, 102.5 The Game on this Friday, continuing things, and we move right along to our favorite. Sometimes we call him Uncle Chris. Sometimes we call him Forever Titans wide receiver, but we always call him our friend. Hello, Chris. What's up?
Man, what is going on? How y'all brothers doing? I missed y'all last week, man. I cried for like 2 seconds and just missed you guys.
Well, we missed you too. You know, I don't remember where I was. Joe was on vacation.
What?
Yeah, buddy.
We've had, you know, it's that time of year, but we're back now. We're ready
Yes,
to
we
talk
are.
some football.
Man, I'm ready to go. Can you leave that getting ready to start camp, man? Unbelievable, man.
I'm excited. I'm excited about it. I am curious, you know, and we've talked a little bit about this, but as we get closer, Adam Vingan and I were talking about this yesterday. You look at this receiver group for the Titans, and I definitely think on paper it's improved, but
Yes.
you know, you've been in those rooms. You want to get your catches and you want to get your yards. How do you look at that and talk about that as a group in spreading the ball around?
I mean, everybody has to know their role. And yeah, I know you hate when I do this, but I'm just going to go back just for a little bit. 1999. We had
Go ahead.
great receivers. I'm sorry.
I actually don't mind it. It's fine.
I mean, we had some number one guys in that league. We had Yancey Dickman, Derek Mason, Kevin Dyson, Joey Kidd, all those guys that can play
Isaac
the
Bird.
number one, Isaac Bird. But the thing that we had in that locker room is everybody knew their role. Our identity was running the ball with 27, and we'll catch a pass once in a while. But then now in 2026, you have a whole bunch of receivers. You got Carnell Tate, you got Ridley, you got Robinson, that they got for the New York Jets. You got Olivers, and we're not talking about. We got Estrepo. All those guys in a pot. But everybody has understand the role. So when they get into a game situation, it's 3rd and 5, and you got Cam Ward that looks at Tate as opposed to Cam Ridley. Is Cam really going to get upset, or is he going to say, okay, my role is when my opportunity comes, I got to make the play. So that's what's going to determine if this passing course is going to be successful or not.
If I told you in his rookie year, Carnell Tate would be targeted 116 times.
Ooh.
He'd make 62 grabs, 885 yards, 8 touchdowns. Would you take that?
I think that's a win. I definitely think that's a win, because when you come in there as a rookie, you know, you come and you make a splash like that, I think it's awesome. And I think, in my opinion, I think he might catch maybe between 70 and 75. And the reason why I say that is because you got Dable that's doing the RPO, the run pass option. So it might not be a lot down the field, like a post, a go route, or a seam. It might be like the little slants, the little choice routes, and get the ball in his hands and let him make plays. I think that's why he'll catch between 62 and 70 balls this year.
Talking our good boy Chris Sanders
My
on the
guy.
chase. How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. I miss my music, man.
You'll get it, but but I'm not a fan of you going on across the street in the morning with our friend Burton over there. I got
no, man. He asked me to do a crazy interview, man. We just get on that. Don't even talk about it. We just talk about goofy stuff. But this is my first love right here. You already know.
Oh, okay. Promo
We
time.
appreciate that.
I love that. All right, so let me ask you
Send that
this.
to John, please.
Right. So the Titans lineup versus the Jets, September the 13th. And you got Calvin Ridley up top. You got Carnell Tate at the bottom, and you got Wan'Dale Robinson at that slot. All right. You got who's going to cover the slot guy who's that good as Wan'Dale Robinson if you're the defense? Because you got 2 pretty good DBs.
Right.
You put the strong safety on him. You got the strong safety out, put another DB in. I mean, I think this is a great twist that Brian Dable's got with Wan'Dale Robinson, because this guy, I'm telling you, and I think, and you know this guy could be the MVP of the team.
I think he can, because if you look at last year when he was with the Giants, I'm talking about Robinson. I mean, he had 1,000-something yard catches. He had a lot of attempts. But here's the thing that he does so special is he keeps the chain moving. And when you have a situation to where you have a receiver that can run the choice routes, they can run those little seams, they can run those little quick routes where he can get open and run after the catch, he's going to make Cam Ward better. And then when he starts doing that and start destroying a safety, or they put a linebacker, whoever they put on him, then now you got Carnell Tate, you got Robinson on the outside that can beat the one-on-one coverage. But at the end of the day, you can have all those great wide receivers, you can have all those great routes, but your quarterback has to deliver. That's the deciding factor of what we're talking about and everything we're doing.
If Cam is running for his life back there, you know, the X and Y's are zipping down the field. What's Wan'Dale's? What's his job to get open if Cam's scrambling?
he's got to understand where the quarterback's eyes are. It's kind of like if I just imagine if I roll out left, but I run a route that's on the right. So what I need to do as a rule, we have rules as receivers. If I'm the number 2 in the slot and the quarterback rolls out left, I got to get in his vision. I got to run like a shallow cross or a deep over to get in his vision. If you look at last year, I think it was Restrepo. No, it was Restrepo or somebody. No, it wasn't Restrepo. I forgot the other wide receiver to where he rolled out the opposite way. Then all of a sudden he threw a long pass to him and he caught the football. And that's what you want to do as a wide receiver. It's rules that you have to do. Get in his vision, even if he's rolling out the opposite way.
Is that now because, I mean, Wanda Robinson's 5'8", 180. It's not like he's 6'3", 220.
Little,
so is the slot, when you got guys that come out like, all right, we know you can't, you're not the fastest guy, you're not the biggest guy, but you're perfect for the slot.
Yeah, but see, here's the thing. You got to have good feet in the slot. And one guy that was really good in the slot was Derek Mason. Derek Mason, as a receiver in the slot, had the suddenlies. What the heck does that mean? That means I get in and out of our cut. And I'm going to give you a perfect example. If I'm the number 2 receiver, I'm in the slot and a linebacker shading inside, I understand as a choice route, I got to make them think I'm going inside and quickly get out and go, run a little quick out route. Those are the things that are going to get your quarterback better, and that's what's going to make you a great wide receiver. And the good thing about it is, even when you have that situation, that scenario, the quarterback and the receiver have to be on the same page.
All right, this is actually a very serious question I want to ask you here. All right, so Jerry Rice at the combine runs a 4.65. Tim Brown runs a 4.6. John Ross runs a 4.2. Right? Why was Jerry Rice and Tim Brown, why were they one of the best receivers of all time when their speed, we all get fascinated by the 4.3 and 4.4 when they didn't have that? Why are they been some of the best receivers of all time?
See, I'm gonna give you a perfect example. Even though they ran 4.6 and 4.7 or 4.5, whatever it is they played that speed. I'm gonna give you a perfect example. I don't know if you remember a receiver that came in with the Titans called Calico. Big. Nobody even knows that he ran 4.3, 4.2 at the combine. But why didn't he last? It's because he didn't play like he was 4.3. So when if he runs a comeback or a curl or a dig, it took him 5 days to get out of his cut. So that's how he was consistently getting covered. So now you have a situation with Jerry Rice, a Derek Mason, a Jamar Chase, guys that are not blazing fast, but they get out of their cuts with the same speed that they run with. So that makes the difference why they're creating separation.
I was watching a Derek Mason reel came through one day on Instagram, all his play, and he was always open. And he's not like he's 6'5", 230. I mean, he was always open, and Steve was always looking for him. I'm like, he wasn't a first rounder. None of the stuff that you attribute to the greatest receivers of all time, but he was just damn good.
Yeah, but let me give you another guy, Steve Largent. Steve Largent had the worst face mask in America.
Yep.
He had looked terrible in his jersey. He wasn't fast. But why was this guy consistently getting open? Because here's the deal. You got to have the art of running routes. What does that mean? That means I got to keep the DB's hips locked opposite of where I'm going. And another thing that I have to do is we have to have the ceilings, but also lie with our eyes. I'm going to give you a perfect example. Just say if I'm running a dig route, I'm running a 15 to 16-yard dig.
Okay.
And the defensive back is head up. I got to make sure. Number 2, I got to lie. What does that mean? That means I'm going opposite of where I'm going. So when I'm having the DB going opposite of where I'm going, his hips get locked the other way. I'm going the other way, and all of a sudden I just created the separation. I don't need to run a 4.3 or 4.2 to do that. I need to have the art of running routes, getting the DBs locked and go opposite.
Okay. By the way, you and Steve Largent have a connection. Do you know what it is?
Steve Craig.
Do you know what it is? You were both drafted by the Houston Oilers.
Wow, is that crazy?
Steve Largent was drafted by the Oilers.
Largent.
Nobody thought he could play in the game, and they shipped him off to Seattle.
Yeah, but you know what's so crazy? You know what bothers me a little bit is we'll see a kid or we'll see a player that runs 4.3, 4.2 and automatically classify him as a great receiver. That's not fair.
Right.
It's about the art of route running. It's 3 phases of the route. It's the release, the acceleration, and what you do at the top of the route. There's a lot of guys who can't do that. That's why Jerry Rice was good. Tim Brown, all the guys that were fast. Webster Slaughter that I had a chance to learn from of running routes. It's more of understanding how to set the guy up in the art of route running.
Chris Sanders is with us. One thing we saw in the quarterback documentary is, Cam he's vocal. He's a very vocal type quarterback. You played with a guy that pretty much talked to you with his eyes, that like you kind of knew what Steve wanted with a look. So how how can Cam evolve into a leader at the quarterback position, even knowing that he does like to chirp a little bit?
Yeah, but I see the thing about it is you want to be demanding. You want to keep guys accountable, but also you want to be approachable. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of quarterbacks that are demanding and mean, but they're not approachable. You can't talk to them. I'll give you a perfect example. Aaron Rodgers. You can't talk to Aaron Rodgers because he wants to do it his way. But even though Cam is being more not boisterous, but talking a little more, he's talking in a way to where he's demanding, hey, if you're running a dig, I need your eyes right here. If you're running a post, I'm throwing it this position. He's demanding these guys and keeping them accountable. So when he's speaking loudly and, telling guys to be where they be, he's still approachable. And when you have guys that love being around your quarterback, that love to talk to your quarterback, that love to spend time with your quarterback, you're going to do what he says. Why? Because he's building a relationship and he's approachable.
How would Steve communicate with you? Like if he wanted you to do something different?
He would walk out the field. He wouldn't even say what he's looking at me like. Like as I'm walking out the field, he's staring at me the whole time like, Chris, what are we doing? So I knew that I got to come back and say, okay, Mac, what were you thinking on the play? If this was the coverage that kind of rotated and did some things that I wasn't expecting, now we adjust and now we build up, and then he comes back and we get it done.
Tim Hasselbeck had a great point today. I asked him about why the rookies are in 5 days ahead of the vets. He said, so when the vets get here, the rookies don't slow them down. I thought, he's right? What if you have a rookie that's going to take your position? You see, I mean, that's a little different. I don't think that the rookies come in and slow it down because there's not that many practices to where they can do so much. Because if you look at the NFL right now, there's a limited amount of practice. I think they should all come in once because they all have to gel together. It's not about the rookies and the vets are against each other. It's about gelling together, building identity, and doing this together. So it's not about, okay, these guys in a way they're going to make mistakes. That's your teammate. So if he messes up, the whole team messes up. So let's build together and build an identity. Did you get hazed when you were a fun hazing when you were with the Oilers as a rookie?
No, they just cut my hair off. They cut my hair off and cut one of my eyebrows off. And then here's the craziest thing that where I was really, really mad. This is when cell phones basically came out. So what they did is they grabbed all my clothes and put it in the water and froze my clothes in the freezer. That's the only thing that they basically did.
That's actually pretty funny.
So my cell phone was frozen, and I'm like, man, I was teed off on that one.
I will tell you something funny. In 2000,
did Bruce lead the way on that?
No, it was D. Russ. His name was Derek Russell. He just fussed everything. He did that. It was him.
Well, if John Runyon came to me and said, "Go do this," I'd be like, "Yes, sir. I'll get right over there."
Hey, that's one guy you don't want to mess with. But Bruce Matthews is more funny. He'll be like, "Okay, you get your helmet. I put Pepto-Bismol on your helmet, and it's dripping down your face." That's the kind of stuff that Bruce Matthews.
And then you'd be looking at Bruce like, "How'd you get all that hair on your back?"
When I tell you that dude is I never knew anybody had trap hair. I mean, it's shoulder hair. I'm like, what are we doing? Shave that vest off, man.
Oh, you know what's fun? I'll tell you a moment when the NFL, why I saw the changing of the guard when they did the rookie hazing, and they tried to haze Lindell White in 2006, and he said, "You come near me, I'm going to hurt you." We were there. We witnessed this. The media witnessed this. And Lindell's like, "I ain't playing this game. I ain't doing this. You come near me, I'm going to hurt you."
I remember one day, I can't remember the little trainer that we had, but he was the guy who was with Steve Watterson. He was kind of the guy that helped Steve Watterson. I can't remember his name, but they hazed him one time, and they kind of did some things to him. Before practice was over, everybody's tires was on the flat. That's why you gotta understand who you mess with and who you don't mess with.
What was his name? Sammy?
Sammy. Yep.
I know him.
Sammy.
Or knew him.
Sammy.
Yep.
So yeah. You gotta be careful.
What do you mean knew him? Is
he was he was at FRA for a little bit after he left the Titans. Yep.
He always had the same look. That was like 65 years old, man.
When I was in high school and he was at FRA, I'm like, this guy could kick. I mean, he was a little guy, but I thought he could kick everybody's butt.
Yeah, but he had so much experience, man. He was good at what he does, but you got to be careful who you mess with. Everybody's tires was on the flat. I'm like,
that's awesome.
No, I'm good.
Oh yeah, right now. I know that's no longer like high school. That's no longer allowed, which I'm fine with that because listen, you're trying to win games, not pepper spray some teammates. Right.
No, I think it's in the compounds of this. This is the key. When people say hazing, sometimes we got to be careful. when you're hazing people, you're trying to go out, you're trying to hurt somebody deliberately. When we have hazing, it's kind of like, oh, we put funny haircuts in their hair, and they have to be okay with it. Like, okay, this is the tradition that we have, or you got to cut your hair and you keep a little straight, whatever. That's great. But when you take it as a point of I'm deliberately trying to hurt you, that's when it's wrong.
Let me ask you another.
Sure.
We're gonna keep you on to about 5 o'clock today.
Please do. Come
By
on.
the
Let's
way,
make it happen.
what's the NBA practice schedule? You guys done for today?
Yeah, we're done, but then we actually start camp on Sunday, so we got 4 days of camp in Swanee. So, woo, I'm ready to get out. I'm excited. I got my beard going ready. I'm ready to eat a whole bunch of food at Swanee. So I'm excited, man. It just feels different. I know we practice in the summer and we lift weights, but actually get into football shape and get ready for Pearl Cone. It's just a different feel, man.
Let me add. Did you guys were the jugs machines around when you were a rookie?
Yes. What? Oh, I loved it. I did it like 2 times a day. Absolutely.
But let me ask you this: nobody throws that way. No quarterback throws like the jug. What's the benefit of the jug? I know you're catching the ball. I get all that. But isn't it better if I'm throwing to you and I'm like throw to your feet, I throw over your head, I throw to the left. Isn't that better than the jugs and just firing the ball right at you?
Yeah, it is, and you're right. But you can do it at different angles. But here's what I love about the jug machine: it's not just catching a football. It's watching. It's telling the guy who's catching the football to follow the football with your eyes. You're training your eyes to follow the football, because I tell all my receivers, you don't catch the ball with your heads, you catch it with your eyes. So now if we're doing the jug machine, I'm saying even if they look away and catch it, nope, that's not what I want. Have your eyes follow the ball. So now we get into the game and it's 3rd and 5 and the ball's behind you. You're going to follow the ball with your eyes because you've been trained to do that. And that's why I love the jug machine.
Okay, 2 questions on that.
Sure.
Did you wear gloves when you used the jugs machine? And 2, did it help callous your hands to be ready for a guy that threw hard like Steve McNair?
Yeah, the reason, because I started doing it without gloves until it slipped through my hands in the point of hitting me square in the snoot. I was done. So not in the nose, but the snoot. So I'm like, okay, I'm putting a helmet on and I'm using gloves, because you got to remember, it's not just callousing your hands. Your hands are going to be wet from practice and it's going to be moist. So you want to use gloves. But at the end of the day, man, you got to use that jug machine to make sure your eyes follow the ball, because you're going to train yourself to do it in the game.
Oh, it's interesting. I was just curious because I see it. It's the same pass, the same velocity, the same all that. And there was a drill the Titans did at camp a few weeks ago. I think Paul Kaharski had video about it. Yeah. The ball thrown on the ground and you had to scoop it up. And like a lot of receivers couldn't get that.
Yeah. But see, that's where you can use the jug machine, because the jug machine is adjustable. So you can move it to different angles and different things like you did. That's who introduced me to the jug was Les Steckel, because I never knew what the jug machine was. So once I got to camp, he was doing it at different angles and, behind me, sideways, all those things at a different philosophy, even closer to where I had to, stick my hands out and catch it. So those are the benefits of catching the jug machine.
So if there's a high school coach listening right now, or a high school player, receiver, what's the best drill for a wide receiver? The absolute best drill to become the best wide receiver you can?
It's just catching the football, running in motion, not just running in motion, but just running in place and using your eyes to catch the football. And I think that there's so many sexy drills that are out there, like, oh, that's sweet. But you have to do something that's going to pertain to your craft. So one of the things that I do is the toe tip drill, to where they got to run and they got to catch the football, but then they got to be cognitive of tapping their feet in to, keeping it in bounds. So now I'll give you a perfect example. A couple of years ago, one of my receivers was doing the drills over and over, and he kept asking me, Coach, why are we doing these drills over and over? I said, watch, you're going to subconsciously do it when you're in the game. So now we get into the game. It's 3rd and 26. He runs a long, deep route, and he catches it, and all of a sudden you see him tiptoe, and he comes to me to the sidelines. He said, Coach, thank you for telling me to do that every day, because now it came into fruition.
As a coach, are you more excited when a guy catches that deep ball for a touchdown than you were when you scored a touchdown in the NFL?
1,000%.
I love it.
I'll tell you why. And the reason why is because you watch kids develop. You watch them go through the hard times. You watch them drop balls. You watch them, run a great route. But then all of a sudden they get against Pearl Cone and they run a post and they catch a touchdown. And to see the excitement on their face, to see their mom and their dad cheering in the stands, to see their teammates come to congratulate them, it feels so good to make others great. And that's why I love to see those kids catch touchdowns.
Hey, I got good news for you. That the game against Pearl Cone, I'm going to be there.
Yes, go.
I'm going to be there.
Don't big boy me though, because when I come up to you, I'm be like, hey, how you doing? What's up, man?
I'm gonna say hi to you. Don't
Is
worry.
that opening game? 4 weeks from the night season starts. What
4
is
weeks.
I think I can say this. I'm gonna say
Just
it
say
anyway.
it.
That's gonna be our game of the week.
Let's
So
go.
so we'll be broadcasting that.
what week is this of the season?
This
Week one.
is week 1.
Week 1.
August
Oh,
21st.
yep.
Oh,
It's gonna be a heck of a game.
Pearl Cone and
I
NBA.
thought it was the 17th.
I have the 21st.
This is 21st.
The 17th
Oh,
is a
okay.
Monday, Chris.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Monday Night Football.
It
But
is.
listen,
Yes, sir.
the 17th of August is a special night for this show that you're a part of, and we'll tell you when that
What
day
is it?
comes. No, we got to tell. We can't tell you now, but we'll tell you that day.
Okay. Well, I'm so excited. I love being
You're
a
part of this.
2.5 family because we family.
We are family.
Yep.
Absolutely.
All right, Chris, appreciate the time as always. Have a good weekend.
Always, brothers. You too, guys. Love you. Bye-bye.
See ya. Love you. Bye. Chris Sanders joining us on the program, Forever Titans wide receiver.
The answer, I knew what he was going to say, but him being overjoyed, one of his players scoring a touchdown makes me want to run through a wall.
Yeah.
That's how good. That's why we have a lot of good men coaching high school football in this area that I know. I'm sure there's around the country, but to hear that and his explanation why he's happy made my day.
Well, like even for me, when I see like Connor or Nick or any of Parker, any
Sure.
of our guys that are now doing what
when they get it.
when they get it and they do what they want or love love to do, like that's more fulfilling for me than me sitting here doing this.
Yeah, 100%, man.
So
That's great.
We'll have more coming up next. Chasing Big Joe on this Friday, presented by the Omni Nashville Hotel. 102.5 The Game. Chase and Big Joe, 102.5 The Game on this Friday. He's Big Joe Dubin. I'm Chase McCabe, Dr. Crane, Nick Frazier with you. Appreciate Chris Sanders for joining the show and having fun. The order of finish by the media at SEC Media Days has been released. You have a guess of who the media has selected to win the Southeastern Conference?
Let's go with pick the very last team. Is it Mississippi State?
They are 15th.
Who's worse?
I'm a little surprised by this, actually, because I thought it would be Mississippi State, but Arkansas. I don't know about that.
All right, give me 14.
And by the way, Nick, I love you. I really do. You just know. Let me preface this by saying that you're drinking that garnet, whatever color Kool-Aid down
maroon.
there, maroon down in Starkville, because they're terrible.
I know. It's just look,
but that's okay.
To be fair, I'm a huge fan, and
that's
Kamario
fine.
Taylor was number one in the Manning Passing Academy. He's coming in with high expectations. The only unfortunate thing is if Jeff Levy ends up going down south, that meaning his record goes to the where.
I mean, he's out after this year.
No. I like this.
I will stay on. I will die on this hill for this. If Jeff Levy goes to a bowl game, rightfully so, not like a invitation like last year, he keeps his job.
I'm with you. Listen, this is why I like you. This is why I like SEC football, because you're not jumping ship to go support Alabama, unlike you fake Yankee fans and you fake New England Patriot fans. You guys are all Laker
Front
fans.
runners.
You're all fake. You're all fake. The fact you support a Mississippi State team that's been pretty bad, a program that's been, God bless you. God bless those who follow SEC teams you're passionate about. God bless you, man.
Thank you.
For not all you fake Alabama fans who jumped on now you've jumped off because they're not winning anymore. You're fake. You're absolutely fake. You're all fake. I love the Tennessee fans who have stuck through the program through Dooley, Butch, Pruitt, and now Heupel. I love you guys. That's passion. You're not fake Yankee fans, which I hate. Good for you, man. All right, 14, Chase.
Take a guess.
South Carolina.
They are 11th.
Take a guess. Hold on. Tell me. Kentucky.
Yep. 13th.
13th. God, we've added some. 13th. Do not shut your mouth. Auburn.
They're 12th.
Okay. 13. South Carolina.
They're 11th.
They're 11th. Okay. Vandy.
Yep.
They got Vandy at 13.
They got Vandy at 13.
If I'm
they
Clark
don't believe.
Lee,
I'm hanging this in the locker room.
I
I am hanging this in the locker room.
Absolutely. Also, 13, 12.
I walk into the first meeting and I go, nobody believes in you.
Nobody. Holy cow. All right. 13th. That's embarrassing. All right. 10th. I'm going to go with Florida.
9th.
10th. I'm going to go with you. Ole Miss.
No. I'm not going to tell you where they are yet.
Okay. I don't know.
But it's not them. Missouri.
Oh, Missouri 10.
Florida's 9.
9. Okay.
8.
LSU.
They're 5th.
Okay. Tennessee.
That is correct.
All right.
7th.
Oklahoma.
Good job. 6th.
A&M.
No, they're 4th.
Florida.
Ole Miss is 3rd, by the way.
Alabama.
Alabama.
At where?
Alabama 6, LSU 5,
All right.
A&M 4, Ole Miss 3. So 2 left.
Georgia's 1.
Georgia's 1, Texas 2.
Woo.
I don't think I disagree with 1 and 2.
Do me a favor. I'll do it.
But Ole Miss, you got to show me.
They've been to the gym, brother.
I know. You may look. They may look at every opponent on their schedule and go, "I'm going to pray for you and your family for what we're about to do."
Right?
Like it honestly might be that. But and when they play LSU, oh my God, what a game that's going to be.
Let me look. I'm looking at Texas' schedule for this year. I haven't done a lot of that, but all right. So Texas State at home, Ohio State at home, Texas San Antonio at home, at Knoxville, Red River Shootout versus Oklahoma, Florida home. Good Lord. Ole Miss at home, Mississippi State at home. Their schedule is so easy. They're all at home. That LSU on the road. I was hoping they'd play Georgia. I was hoping Texas played Georgia the regular season because Kirby Smart offered up last year one of the great postseason quotes or post-game quotes of all time. When they beat Texas, when Georgia beat Texas, he told the lady interviewing him, he said, "Y'all came here to take pictures. We came here to eat." And I was like, that is so badass to do that. And so that was a great line. But Texas schedule's so easy. They should
and
go.
I know Dr. Crane said Georgia, he's got Georgia going undefeated. Did you hear what Kirby was asked about a team not being on the schedule? Did you hear this?
Was it about, do you have the bite?
Yeah.
Okay.
Play it.
That schedule there on your right looks like there's no Tennessee, which I'm sure is extremely bizarre for you. Just what are your thoughts on not playing them? And does that kind of feel like it's one less win being taken away off the schedule?
Yeah, you said that, not me. That's a tough place to play and tough team to play. I got a lot of respect for Josh and their staff. I mean, they're a tough prep. They're really hard to prepare for, and I'm glad other teams get an opportunity to do that because they get some new teams to play, and then we get some new teams to play. So very unique scheduling. Looking forward to the new format and the matchups that are created through the new format.
This is what I love.
Love it.
This is what I love about SEC Media Days. And I don't mean this disparagingly at all, but SEC Media Days is the opportunity for a writer or a broadcaster that doesn't work in a big market, that they go to this event and all of a sudden they're with the big fish. And a lot of times, and I don't know who that was that asked the question, a lot of times they're going to try and ask a question to get a soundbite. And that's exactly what that was.
Great. I love it.
And you know what? Kirby handled it 10 out of 10.
I love it.
I'm sure he smirked when he said, and you said that, not me.
Yeah.
Like, but he's thinking it because Josh Heupel's never beaten him.
Right. That's
so
right.
that is, and look, say what you want about Kirby, say what you want about Georgia. Kirby is now the daddy of the SEC. He has taken that over. Now, he hasn't done near what Saban has done yet.
Nobody has.
But, I think if we were to rank former Saban assistants as head coaches, I mean, he's number one going away, right? He's got 2 championships.
Jimbo's got 1. Kirby's got 2. There might be somebody else. Sarkisian.
Sark doesn't have 1. Lane doesn't have 1.
Signetti's got 1.
Signetti's got 1.
We could do this all day with the coaches. But Kirby's been there now. This is his 11th season at Georgia, and you've won 2 national championships. Would you sign up for that? If I give you 10 years, you're going to win 2 national titles and
hell yeah,
4 SEC championships, I think, or 3.
Well, here, I don't even care. No disrespect. I don't care about the SEC championships. Just give me the national championships.
Your mouth.
It's about winning the natty, baby.
I still think winning the SEC is powerful.
Sure. But
you tell Peyton Manning win the SEC ain't powerful. That's all he took away from Knoxville is winning in 97.
How about Florida?
Man, we had some good games and we played them tough sometimes.
Did Eli beat Florida?
I don't know.
Did they ever play?
Maybe. I don't know.
I feel like
Florida wasn't very good during that stretch.
They were not.
I want a question before we go to the break. Should Arch Manning, he's a junior, should he return for his senior year?
I'll answer that when we come back. That's a good question. We'll keep the SEC going. Chase and Big Joe 105 the game. Joe getting his dance on.
Love me some Robert Plant, man.
Chasing Big Joe 102.5 The Game. He loves you.
It should be your Archie Manning song, man. Tall, cool one. Now, I was just looking at his, he's a junior. He's going to make a lot of money. It's not like the Mannings need money. And Peyton came back because he wanted to play his senior year. Eli came back for his senior year. Why would their nephew? And don't give me the money nonsense. Peyton talked about you'll never get that senior year back, right? You want to go and play that. So why would not Arch want to come back for, the best? Got to show it to me that you do it, but you can come back next year and play. But it's, what if he gets injured and blah? Look, you get me an $8-9 million NIL deal after this year, you'll be okay. I'd love to see him come. I love college football. I'd love to see him come back for his senior year.
You have to draft one of these 3 quarterbacks based solely on their stats from last year. Okay. I'm going to ask it this way. All right. Quarterback number 1, 294, 445. He completed 66% of his passes, threw just shy of 4,000 yards, 22 touchdowns, only 3 interceptions.
Okay, 22-3. All right.
Quarterback number 2. Seen 26 touchdowns, 7 interceptions.
26-7.
Quarterback number 3 completed 64.5% of his passes, just over 3,500 yards, 28 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. Which one are you taking?
So the first one's Fernando Mendoza.
Incorrect.
The second one's Diego Pavia.
Incorrect.
The third one is Arch Manning.
The second one is Arch Manning.
Second one's Arch.
These are 3 SEC quarterbacks.
Current. They're playing now.
They played last year.
Okay.
Well,
are they coming back this year?
one is. Or 2 are.
Okay.
Arch and the other one.
Pavia one of those?
Nope.
Sellers one of those?
Nope.
I'm completely stumped now.
Okay, quarterback number 1, Trinidad Chambliss from Ole Miss.
Damn it, Joe.
Quarterback number 2, Arch Manning.
Okay.
Quarterback number 3, Simpson, Ty Simpson.
All right.
So those were the 3.
All right.
I mean, Arch, if you just look at Arch's numbers, they're not awful.
No.
And he missed time. He only played 13 games. Well, yeah, I mean,
well, I'll give Arch the benefit of the doubt for that opening game or whatever game at Ohio State. Nobody was beating Ohio State that day. And he was nervous.
And they were close.
His passes were showed that. Before the love affair begins, show me that you belong at that level. And, and Dr. Green, I hate this. I'm so sorry. But that Mississippi State comeback might have been the turning point for Arch Manning. Because first half of the game, they're getting the snot beat out of him. Were they down 3 touchdowns?
I believe they were.
Yeah. The Saturday night, I listened to the game on the radio, and they roared back. Overtime?
It was overtime because Brandon Walker called it, said they're going to lose in overtime. You absolute scumbag. And it happened right by his feet. I was like, dude, why?
Yeah, that's it. So I think that was a turning point for Arch Manning now. Now you got to put together. And the schedule Texas has got is so favorable for them. But Ohio State rolls in week 2.
I think, to answer your question, if he's viewed as the number 1 overall pick all year, he's gone. Because, why wouldn't you? Like, you're going to get guaranteed money in the NFL, and you'll be the number 1 overall pick. If not, if his stock drops a little bit and he does struggle, then, yeah, I think he comes back for a senior year.
What if he comes out and he's going to go to Arizona? Is Grandpa going to step in and take care of his grandboy like he did his son who whined?
Supposedly he didn't do that.
Right.
According to Eli, he didn't do that.
Give me a breath.
Let's take this a step further in today's college football. What if it's Arizona that he could go to? Or what if Tennessee or Alabama or Ole Miss is offering him more money to leave Texas and transfer?
There's no limits. Who's the vol booster? I mean, if it's a Haslam or the guy that owns some huge hospital conglomerate up in Knoxville offers him, because you got the running back from Chattanooga coming in,
No.
and you offer
But
Arch.
does that offense benefit Arch is the question.
Oh, they'd build it around. You think Heupel
Yeah.
would love to have Arch Manning?
Oh, sure. Because, I mean, Sark's he's pretty much running a pro style.
You got something. Hey, why not? It's like, all right, Arch, we'll pay you $12 million to come to Knoxville next year and play for 1 year. He'd be crazy.
Now I don't. Now
Is Texas match it?
Okay, let me ask a question that I really don't know the answer to. Let's say that he decides he wants to leave Texas, and Tennessee gets into the mix. Can alumni uncle help pay for that, or is that because he's related? Can he not get involved?
That's a great question.
Because he gives money to the university.
I hope he does.
So, I mean, how much influence can Uncle Peyton have on that? And same goes for Ole Miss. If Ole Miss got in the mix, can Uncle Eli or Grandpa get in the mix?
Where do you go? Play for Pete Golding or Josh Heupel?
Josh Heupel all day.
Yeah. But that's the world they've created for us now. We could talk about this.
Right. But I mean, like, I think it's a really interesting.
Tennessee fans would go crazy.
Oh, because
if Arch has a good year.
Yep.
And now I wouldn't do it if I'm Arch.
No.
Because you live up to Uncle.
Yeah.
Man,
I think that's why he went to Texas and not Ole Miss or Tennessee.
Why did I go to Knoxville?
Because he didn't want to be in his daddy's shadow.
What if Arch goes back home to where he grew up in Louisiana?
Tulane?
Goes to LSU.
Could happen.
What if
I can see that
happens?
Snake Kiffin trying to get him.
Oh God!
Sam Levitt was the transfer quarterback this year. Could be another one after that.
Did Nussmeier go to the NFL?
Yes,
he did.
Yeah.
Steelers, right? 7th round.
Yeah. That's right.
Was it? I thought it was the Chiefs.
Well, Chiefs. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Chiefs. 7th round. Boy,
no, because the Steelers took who they
Drew
took
Aller.
Yeah.
I mean, Nussmeier fall from grace.
You know who should have transferred this year and he didn't, and I was really surprised that he didn't, was Sellers from South Carolina.
Where's he going to go? That offense is built around him. He
might have worked in a Heupel offense.
We watched a documentary. He loves South
I
Carolina,
know.
and they love him.
Yeah. Is he from there?
I don't know. I have no
I think
idea.
he's from the area.
Yeah.
So who knows? But that's a sneaky team.
That is a
Sneaky
great
program.
That is a great, like, what if, because Arch would have 1 year left because he's a
junior.
He's a redshirt junior.
Yep, redshirt
But
junior.
He'd have 1 year left. Let's see what. I mean, look, I think Steve Sarkisian's a good head coach. I don't think he's a bad head coach.
Right.
But if they once again come up short, then does he think, okay, like, does he look at that running back and go, that's what I need?
I don't think Arch is built that way.
Yeah.
I think Arch is cut from the Eli Peyton of like.
I think the whole family is.
I
that
like
way.
my team. I like my team. I'm here for my team.
But I think the whole family is. It's not a my decision. It's a we decision.
And
like, I think everything they do is very calculated, and they're all in on it. Cooper, Olivia, Arch, Peyton, like, they're all in on it.
I appreciate the kind words, man. All right, we're gonna let's take a break real quick. Dr. Crane threw out something the other day, which when he started talking, I'm like, you're crazy, but I'm telling you, Chase, this might be one of the best things you've ever heard about the NIL, and I'm telling you. What he talked about the other day, and I want to get your thoughts about this because it's really, really good, and I love praising Dr. Crane.
We will do that coming up next, but first, let's give away some Bob Dylan tickets, shall we? You guys have been doing this week, right?
Yeah, man, we did that. Give me a quote, buddy.
All right. So this is Bob Dylan or Coach. We're going to read two quotes. One belongs to Bob Dylan. The other belongs to a legendary coach. Is that how you did this?
We read one quote,
and you had to decide.
And which one was it? Was it Bobby or somebody else?
All right. Let's see. Oh, we don't have a quote. We got to come up with a quote, don't we?
I thought we had quotes.
They're in there. They're on that little mail. Yeah.
All right, we'll do this in a second. Hang on. I thought it
We'll
was
do it
right
next
here.
hour.
We'll do it next hour. How about that?
Hey,
how about that? Jason Big Joe, 102.5 The Game. Well done. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game here on this Friday.
So I'll make this really quick. So Dr. Crane said, if Tennessee goes to MTSU, if a Power 4 school takes a group of 5 guy, he goes to MTSU and he takes their center for $500,000, they've got to give Middle Tennessee 30% of the money they pay the kid. So the school that's losing the player, they'd get like 50 grand. It's like a service fee. It's like I'm your kind of pseudo agent. Tennessee's got to pay Middle 100 grand and they get their center. If you end up signing, that's part of the deal. I love it.
I love that too.
Is it not good?
Yeah, I mean, I think that certainly helps the group of 5 or group of 6 schools
Amen, brother.
keep things going. And what that does? That essentially in some ways may replace money games. Because you're going to have some teams that they're going to want to schedule more,
I mean, the group
bigger
of 5
opponents.
is lost in all this.
Yeah.
But if you got 9 guys who end up going to other schools and their total value is $1.8 million, well, why can't the group of 5 school get $400,000 out of that?
Because doesn't usually, like, if a coach has a buyout, and let's say I'm coaching at Western Kentucky and Tennessee wants to hire me, but I have a buyout, it's probably a small buyout. Doesn't Tennessee pay the buyout?
Somebody does.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like a small buyout.
So it's kind of like that. You have to pay the buyout.
So Dr. Crane.
I like that. That's a brilliant idea.
Thank you. Brought a little soccer to the actual football of it all.
Hey, no. We don't.
That's what
Oh
they do.
yeah. So
It's
that's
the
like
transfer
the
market.
transfer.
Yeah.
You got to pay a transfer fee. And you
Yeah.
got to pay that just to have a conversation, right?
It's more of physicals and exercise, all that type of stuff. Yeah, for sure.
But aren't there some weird, like I saw one dude like $11,000 get picked up on this. I'm like, there's some odd numbers that are just like 25,000. Like, we're gonna give you $17,409 for this guy.
It's just the market value. So it just depends on what that person's truly worth. And so there's that small percentage you have to pay. And I think also with college football, if you pay that 30% to that school, if that player that leaves your roster ends up going to the NFL, that university he I guess allegedly graduates from or leaves from should give another percentage back to the original school, because that's like an NFL incentive.
I could see it. I like it.
Coming up next, we'll talk to the voice of the Predators, Pete Weber. He's got another honor coming his way tomorrow. We'll tell you about that. Coming up next, Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game. Chasing Big Joe on this Friday, 102.5 The Game. Hope you're having a great day so far. Let's bring in the voice of the Predators, Pete Weber, who joins us now. Pete, what's up? How you doing?
Well, a lot of things are up, and first and foremost among those is I still don't know for certain what I'm going to say tomorrow at the Tennessee Radio Hall of Fame. So maybe I'll ask for suggestions here.
Well, you ever since I have known you, you've never been short on words, so I think you will figure it out. Congratulations, yet another honor. And I think I've said this to you before, but when David Poyle got put in I think it was the USA Hockey Hall of Fame, I said,
Yes.
This is one of many accolades that you either have or haven't gotten yet, but will get and deserve. And the same goes for you. We were a part of, surprising you for the Tennessee Sports Hall of Fame, and now
You
the
certainly were.
Tennessee Radio Hall of Fame. You certainly deserve it, and going to be awesome tomorrow night. I'm glad. I know you were in Europe for the Tennessee Sports Hall of Fame, so I'm glad you get to be at this one.
At least I was there for videotape, right?
Yeah.
So that worked out that way. But yeah, it's unfortunate, but that trip was one that had been in this planning stages for over 2 years before we did it. So I wasn't going to be able to back out of that because I was the person who was putting part of that trip together.
You're one of those people that, I think, like I said, you deserve these honors, but I think you look at it as you've just had a great career and done what you've loved for so long. So what is it like to go through this process and be honored like this?
That's a great way of putting it. And to go through the process, well, I think about all the things going back. I think about being upstairs in my home office in Kenmore, New York in the late spring of 97. And this little piece of news came across the old Prodigy sports news service that the NHL was awarding provisional franchises to Nashville, Atlanta, Minnesota, and Columbus. And I called downstairs to Claudia and I said, boy, Claudia, wouldn't things be nicer for us, her with her family in the Knoxville area, if we could be in Nashville around the holiday times and take that much shorter drive than it is from Buffalo down to East Tennessee. And it just sort of developed from there. And thanks to Jerry Helper, who was my advocate within the Predators office, and Tom Ward, and of course, Craig Leopold, all those people put us together. Jack Diller, who really liked my collection of sports bloopers. He laughed at those for a long, long time.
Pete Weber is with us today. Pete, what was the first hockey game you ever called?
Notre Dame at Boston College in 1974. And I can never forget that one because the kind people at Boston College decided to put my broadcast location directly in front of the Boston College pep band. I had no hearing for a couple of weeks after that game.
Did you know then that before that, how much about hockey did you know? Did you learn as you went announcing games, or did you already know quite a bit about hockey?
Well, I grew up a Chicago Blackhawks fan. I was a baseball fan, a Chicago Blackhawks fan, and I know that might ruffle some feathers here, but hey, that was the team that was closest to where I grew up. And the St. Louis Blues hadn't even started yet. So I was a Bobby Hull, Glenn Hall type of fan for many, many years before that. So, yes, and my hero in many ways turned out to be a guy who was with us in our first training camps with the Predators. Lloyd Pettit was the owner of the Milwaukee Admirals, and he was the voice of the Chicago Blackhawks, whom Chicago would limousine in from his home in Milwaukee to do the Blackhawks games. So I got some great stories from him during those early Predators training camps.
So, Pete, like when we got interns who come in and say, I want to be a play-by-play guy, I'm like, all right, you need to listen to Pete Weber. You need to listen to Chip Walters. You need to listen to Mike Keith, all of our favorites around here. In 1974, that was not available. How did you learn? How did you listen? I mean, did you just listen when they did it live? Was that how you got kind of the knowledge about how to be a good announcer?
Absolutely. And I had this big tabletop radio next to my nightstand, and I was constantly, in those days, 50,000-watt radio stations over the Midwest, and I grew up in Western Illinois, were carrying most of the sports. So I'd go to WJR in Detroit and listen to the Detroit Tigers, and go to WCFL in Chicago and listen to the Chicago White Sox with Bob Ellison, go to WGN, listen to the Chicago Cubs with their announcers, and they had so many great ones over the years.
Right.
Vince Lloyd, Lou Boudreau in particular. WCCO in Minnesota, catching Minnesota Twins games with Halsey Hall, and even to the point of going to WBAP in Dallas to listen to the Dallas-Fort Worth AAA Spurs baseball.
So I guess these are all Clear Channel stations that.
Yes.
Oh, man.
Exactly.
So how did you become a Cardinals fan? Because aren't you a Cardinals fan?
I am a Cardinals fan, yes. And so I'm in Galesburg. If you take a look on the map, it's almost equidistant between Chicago and St. Louis. And I saw what pain being a Chicago Cubs fan put my father through. So I figured I better go some other direction here. And Stan Musial and company those were the people. That was the player that attracted me first. And plus, getting the great chance to listen to the broadcast team of Harry Carey and Jack Buck on KMOX.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. You know what's funny, Pete? When I was an intern in sports and interned under John Dwyer, and he said, I'm going to give you every sports script you take home and you stand in front of the mirror and you just read. You read it 1,000 times. So I take all these news scripts home and stand in front of the mirror and just read. And I was terrible. But he's like, just keep reading, and you'll find your voice. And I guess that's what you did. You found your voice.
Absolutely. And one of the best tools I had was when my father gave up his dictaphone from his office. And I used that to record and listen back, record and listen back. As a matter of fact, I still have a recording of Stan Musial's last major league home run, hit in September of 1963, because I recorded it on my father's dictaphone off KMOX radio.
Wow. There's an event today, Pete, in baseball history in 1983 that happened. I would love for you to be in the call on the Pine Tar incident with George Brett.
That was absolutely classic, and I don't think I've ever seen a man more enraged than George Brett was when the umpire called him out at home plate after using home plate to measure the extent of the pine tar on his bat.
Yes, I would love for Pete Weber to have been on that call, because that was so archaic and crazy that you just let the moment just go, right, I guess?
Yes, certainly George did. No question about that. And you know, George Brett, he and his brothers owned a minor hockey program in Spokane, and they got involved in hockey. So when I'd have baseball winter meetings and run into George Brett, he'd always want to talk hockey.
Great.
We're talking to Pete Weber, voice of the Predators. Next, or I guess it's a week from Monday, Marv Levy will turn 101 years old.
Yes.
And I know you spent a lot of time with him, and in Buffalo. You were there for that 4 straight Super Bowl runs from the Bills. What was it like being in Buffalo during that time?
It was absolutely a celebration, it seemed like, or the highs of the victories, and there were many of those, then the lows post-Super Bowl. And I remember Marv getting on the bus after the Super Bowl in Tampa, which was the first of the 4 in a row. And Claudia was sitting with me on the family bus, and she goes, "Marv, we love you." And he goes, "You sure you don't want to hit me with a baseball bat?" That was the way he felt about it all.
That is fantastic. Looking at the Predators, we haven't had a chance to talk to you since, I guess, the draft, but a lot of changes. Chris McFarland's come in here, and obviously he's changed some of the front office and brought in some of his people. But looking at the roster, I like a lot of the moves that he's made to make this team younger, but also he's brought in some talented young players.
That he has. And, it's interesting right now. If you look at dailyfaceoff.com, they're looking at the depth chart at this point. Jack Drury, who I think is a pretty good acquisition, is projected as the 4th line center. I don't know if that's going to stick, but and Maverick Bourque is more comfortable, I think, in the middle too. Matthew Wood. Yeah, there are some young players coming in. Russ Colton came over from the Avs as well. Niels Höglander from Vancouver. Alex Kerfoot coming in. So it's going to be an interesting camp. And this is the year now where we have cut down to 4 preseason games. So I don't know that you could actually think things will be settled by the time they play the last of those 4 preseason games before opening up here on October the 1st against the Minnesota Wild.
All right, so I'm glad you said that because I've been meaning to ask you about this. The league is moving to an 84 game schedule. Am I correct in saying they have done this before in the early 90s?
Yeah, matter of fact, what we had then was to fill out the additional 2 games was neutral site games, trying to spread the gospel of the NHL around. And I was lucky with Buffalo. I only had to drive to Hamilton, Ontario, to do one of those games against the Vancouver Canucks. And Pavel Bure scored his 50th goal for the second time this season that night because he had one removed thanks to video review. So video review has been with us for a while.
That is funny. One thing I'll bring up with some of these new players, Vitaly Pinchuk is a guy that I think a lot of people are paying attention to, which I guess will go down as the final move of Barry Trotz's GM career in signing him. But he could be an interesting addition.
Very interesting addition. It's going to be fun to see when camp gets underway how these guys work and how quickly they work. That's going to be a key now, where you have the cut down preseason schedule and then have to make these impressions quickly. Because otherwise, and then the other thing we have going on this year is the idea where a 19-year-old player could be actually sent to the American Hockey League. And we're all thinking about that as a potential for Brady Martin going to Milwaukee.
Interesting. Pete Weber's with us. Pete, you get inducted to the Tennessee Radio Hall of Fame tomorrow night. Let me ask you this, and I don't want to get too emotional about this with you, but is there somebody tomorrow night that's no longer with us that you wish could be in the audience and you get this award tomorrow night?
Sheila Crisp. Yeah.
Yeah.
And why?
No question. Just because Terry and I and Claudia and Sheila have been so close for so many years, and it's just something we'd like to share. And that is one great regret that I'll have in that.
Well, I think you know something that you now have to say. We started this with you not knowing exactly what you're going to say. I have a feeling she might come up in your speech.
There is a chance. There's a good chance. Yes, sir.
And she would probably tell you to, something I can't say on the radio before you go up there.
She might. Yeah, she just might. She was a great saucy lady, I got to tell you.
That's the best way to put it.
Right. Pete, congratulations. You know how much we love you and Claudia, man. And it's an honor to know you and for you to actually know who I am. I think it's a cool thing, Pete. So congratulations, my friend.
How many times, Joe, did we just fool around shooting the bull when I would come into Channel 2?
1,000 times. Those are great.
Yeah.
Those are a great time. We talked very little sports, mostly about life, which was great.
I tell people all the time, Pete, that some of my favorite moments in my career is when I was producing games, and during timeouts, you and I would just like that shoot the bull during the break down the line, whatever rink you were in, whether it was here or Buffalo or wherever. And I learned a lot of German during that. Again, words I can't say on the radio.
Yes, that's right.
And words I was using this last week over in Europe.
Yes.
Well, again, I keep adding more questions to this. I'll never forget that my favorite call of yours was the Mike Fisher goal at 4:00 in the morning in the playoff. That's an iconic moment.
Part of that, Joe, my favorite part of that, Crispy, we were the second round, so there was no more local TV. Crispy was in the booth with Brent Peterson and me, and he was so excited. He squeezed all the air out of Brent Peterson's lungs with a hug as I'm making the call.
Yep.
Oh man,
that's where we got the random kind of yell from Brent because Crispy was grabbing him. Pete, congratulations again. Enjoy tomorrow. I know Claudia is very excited too, but we'll see you very, very soon because hockey's right around the corner.
Yes, it is. Thank you so much, guys. I really enjoyed being on with you today.
Absolutely. The great Pete Weber, voice of the Nashville Predators since day number 1, joining us, and yet another honor for him going in the Tennessee Radio Hall of Fame. Our buddy George Plaster will be the MC of that tomorrow, and congratulations again to Pete on this tremendous honor. We'll come back with more Chasing Big Joe on a Friday, 102.5 The Game. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game on this Friday. Queen bringing us back.
We didn't get into the thing with Pete. You know, he did I think it was a post-game show with O.J. Simpson in Buffalo.
Yeah.
When he was up working out there. We've talked about that
I think
before.
he knew OJ pretty well.
Oh, yeah. I think it was
at
like
that time
4 or 5 years. If I recall correctly, he did a show with OJ that long up there in Buffalo doing all those things. But good for Pete, man. That's a great honor, and it's a big year for him. And it's you said something months ago about Pete and Terry were more responsible for growing the game and knowledge of hockey in Nashville than anybody else.
I dare say, like, I don't think I become as big of a fan of them, of the Predators, as I did if not for Pete and Terry.
Yeah.
Because their delivery on television and radio, and then meeting them in person and realizing like they actually cared about you.
Yeah.
You know, was huge. Like, that drew me in. I mean, Willie did that too. Like, I'd go over to the radio set when Willie was doing pre and post, and they would take the time and talk, and it's like, okay, that draws me in.
Sure.
And, oh, by the way, there's a hockey game, and then you kind of learn that. And I remember doing a piece on them we used to do these profile pieces on the pregame show. And I asked David Poyle about, when they came on and you're building this team and all this, how important they were. And I had to cut it down. He gave me a 5-minute answer
right
on that. They were the voice of the team, explaining how this all worked to the fans.
Great.
And brought them in. So,
well, I mean, I've seen them at Bridgestone back in those days where they would walk the corridors of Bridgestone and take pictures and talk to people. And they were never bigger than the fan.
No.
And I think that's why we drew us all into them, is that they were just us. They were learning some things too as we went along.
That's why, like with soccer, I think Dr. Crane has built kind of a spot for himself, because he's kind of that with a new soccer fan. Because, I mean, look, soccer is a bit of a sport where if you're a fan, you're kind of like, you're in the club and you have to really work your way in to get into the club. And I think that having people that can explain the game to you, that's what you need. And so that's why I think Pete and Terry were so good at that. And it's true what he brought up with Sheila. I mean, if you walked around Bridgestone Arena before and after games, you didn't see just Pete and Terry. You saw Pete and Claudia and Terry and Sheila. And, I mean, they were a group.
Well, it's funny. We asked Pete about the George Brett. What's one call in history you'd like to have been the play-by-play guy on? All right, this could be a really, really fun game in question. All right, what comes to mind for me? The Kirk Gibson home run in '98.
Yeah. Well, the first one that comes to mind for me is, I mean, I'll always remember this word for word. 20 years of trying, 20 years of frustration. Dale Earnhardt will come to the caution flag and win the Daytona 500.
Fair enough.
Mike Joy.
Fair enough.
That would have been mine.
Dr. Crane, you got one?
Yeah, July 9, 2006, when Italy won the World Cup in Berlin, Germany. I mean, campioni del mondo. Hearing Fabio Caressa say champions of the world. I mean, that's incredible. And for the fact that if it would have been the U.S. at some point, would love for that to be the case as well.
You and Chris Sanders, the 1999 team, and then this Italian team that.
Joe, I remember whatever I ate that day. It was just so great.
Can we hit on a bigger point here?
Yes.
That I just would like to point out. Say all that the names again.
Fabio Caressa.
Yeah, but the first, like,
campioni del mondo.
See, like the first time you put the passion into it, and like I say this as a compliment. Like I have a beautiful girlfriend who I love very much. That was sexy. Like you could get somewhere with that. I'm just saying.
What does that all that mean?
It means champions of the world.
Yeah, Campionando.
I'm just
campioni del mondo. Yeah.
You need to like the accent works for you. I'm just saying
it does. It's not as good as Zinfandel, but
it takes the cake.
Oh, what did he say yesterday? Shiraz.
Yeah. That was okay though.
Yeah, it was. Thank you.
And what's the one during Christmas? Krampus. What's his name?
Krampus Snatch Day.
Don't forget International Meat Out Day.
Oh, that too as well.
Or National Nut Day. Can't
we-
forget that either.
That one too.
And there's one more.
Do I have to say that one?
You do. What is Bucky's?
Yeah.
He's a
it's-
beaver.
He is
Oh,
a
yeah.
beaver. It is National Beaver Day as well.
We need a 45-second reel of some of your best.
There's one.
I have 8
The
minutes.
first time he did it, that you and I lost it. I'm not gonna say what day it was, but he read it so like straightforward and nonchalant, and you and I just looked at each other going, he has no idea what he just said.
Can you make us a 45-second reel about
Oh,
your
that'd be
great
awesome.
words?
Pete
I
Weber
mean,
would like that.
I
That
have
could go on his reel.
8 minutes and 52 seconds worth of it.
Oh, yeah, we need it. We
That's
need
your
it at some
that's your
point.
job this weekend.
It's on my old computer. I'm still trying to
Okay.
access it, but
I can
yes.
help you with that. We'll
Okay.
pull the hard drive out. You can call in. First caller 615-737-1025. We'll have some Bob Dylan tickets on the line, but you must determine, is this Bob Dylan or is this Nick Saban? And the first person
okay.
to tell Dr. Crane the correct answer will win the Bob Dylan tickets. There's no success like failure, and failure's no success at all. Is that Bob Dylan or is that Coach Nick Saban? Caller number 1 can tell Nick who that is, and you'll win a pair of tickets to see Bob Dylan plus Lucinda Williams and her band and Jimmy Vaughn and the Tilt-A-Whirl band at the Ascend Amphitheater on Saturday, August 1st. That's coming up next week. On what day?
August 1st,
Which is a
Saturday. Wait, Saturday?
There you go. That's what I was
Okay.
trying to say. There you go. You decide the quote. 615-737-1025. It's Jason Big Joe on a Friday, 105 The Game. Chasing Big Joe 102.5 The Game. On this Friday. We're feeling good on a Friday. DVD coming your way in about half an hour.
Feel Good Friday right here on the Chase and Big Joe show.
It is a feel good Friday.
Big weekend plan for you there, pal?
Not really. I'm actually glad to not have a whole
Just
lot.
kind of chill a little bit. Yeah, we're all a bunch of us heading down to 3rd and Lindsley tomorrow night to watch Guilty Pleasures, that iconic 80s cover band.
Ooh.
Might be their final ever show tomorrow night. Might be. So
3rd and Lindsley?
3rd and Lindsley.
Interesting.
Good little spot.
Now you enjoy the yacht rock band.
Love. Nashville Yacht Club Band, I think their name is.
At Scoreboard, right?
Scoreboard.
Yeah.
Love, love, love.
And then when does what's the other one that
Rubik's Groove?
Yeah, no, and there's another one. They play Sundays.
Oh, the Spasmatics?
Spasmatics. Yeah.
Great band.
Yeah, they're awesome.
At Scoreboard at 4:00. Chase, you ought to come on out.
I might.
They're good. They're funny. They're good. They sound.
I used to go see
perfect.
them when they played on Demumbrian at
Tin Roof?
Doghouse.
Doghouse.
Yeah.
They're good. I mean, they're funny. It's a good. I'm telling you, cover bands is where it's at these days.
Agreed. I was telling our buddy Lance, there's this band that I've seen a few times in Indianapolis. They're based out of Chicago, and they're called Hairbangers Ball. And they do is like 80s hair metal.
Ooh.
And the lead singer looks and sounds just like Vince Neil. And so they play Crew, but they do Motley Crue, they do Van Halen, they do Def Leppard, they do Ozzy. They're
dig that.
awesome.
And what's good about cover bands in Nashville is, these musicians are badass. There's a 70s cover band called 8 Track.
Yeah, I've heard of them.
Played at East Side Bowl, and they dress like 70s rock stars. And I'm telling you, can't tell the difference in the band.
No.
They sound so good. So get out and support.
And
your
half
local
those
venues.
guys probably work at a studio or in a band.
Other bands. That's right.
I mean, this is just like see, that's what I really need to do as I get older is get a little bit better on guitar, learn some of these licks, and then start like a cover band.
Be like Tall Paul. Do you ever know who he was?
I've heard that name.
He was a guy that did a lot of Buffett tunes. He's like 6'8", played like at the what was the bar in Lion's Head Village everybody went to back in the day? And I can't remember the name of it now. And I'll know it at 301.
Chevy's?
No, Chevy's was down. Chevy's was some good times. I saw at Chevy's one time. It turned into Patrick's. I saw the coach one time. A guy had shoved him that was drunk. I'll never forget this. The coach hit a guy so hard in the face because the guy hit him first.
Yeah.
And the coach sprung and hit him. That it's like when you ever push a cushion in where your face goes in. He hit him so hard that dude went flying across the dance floor, and all we did was laugh. That's what Patrick's and Chevy's was. What was the place in Lionheads Village? What Panama Jacks? It was somebody the text line knows.
There's a Calhoun's over there.
Oh, what was it called? It's next to Jack Favier's restaurant. The theater was right there. It's now a Steinmart. The place in Lions Head Village.
There was Caesars.
Caesars was right there. Oh, it's gonna kill me.
There's a great sushi restaurant there now.
Sushi Train.
Well, that one, and then there's another one.
Yeah, Sports Seasons used to be over there as well.
Yep.
Maybe
that was where
knows.
Daltz was. Daltz is there.
The Daltz closed to me. That Daltz is.
Yeah,
oh my gosh.
Supposedly somebody bought it and going to reopen it, but I don't know. So too many places. What are you talking? There was a bar over there.
And somebody please let me know what's the bar. I'm gonna go.
Lions Head Village.
Yeah,
What I mean, give me the
far.
time frame.
Oh, 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
I saw some some over there. Some good bands.
Somebody will help us. In the
Tall
West.
Paul played at this bar in Lions Head Village over in West Nashville. What was it?
Tall Paul might have played at the Trace.
Tall Paul played
He probably played at my dad's place. The Natchez Trace.
I'm texting now. I'm losing my mind. Now I'm upset because I'll know this at 3:01. I'll come charging in DVD.
I'm surprised Hair Metal Henry hadn't told it. He usually knows where all this stuff is. Come on, Henry.
Come on. Somebody let me know what that bar is. Lions Head Village. It was a kind of an open air fun bar.
But it was in Lions Head Village. Probably before my time.
Oh gosh,
he's gonna find it.
This is getting me. Okay. Somebody will know. Somebody will text me. Let me know.
Do we have it? Is that
John's online. He has a suggestion. It might be.
okay? John, what you got?
Is it Rainbow Key?
Rainbow Key, Johnny. Thanks, buddy. Did you go over there a lot?
You're welcome. Yes, sir. All the ones you're talking about. As it all of them.
Oh, you're a good man. You made my day, Johnny. Thank you, buddy.
Thanks, John.
All right. Thank y'all. Have a good day.
Yes,
too.
sir. Rainbow
Rainbow
Key.
Key. I've heard of that one.
That's it. John, my man. That's it. That Rainbow Key was a great spot to go and hear fun.
So
like
where
cover
was
music. In
Is it where like the Chipotle and the sports clubs
back in there? Like there was a movie theater, and it was
Yeah.
right next to the movie theater. Rainbow Key was back in there.
So it was like next to Caesars, because Caesars was kind of in the corner where
Yeah,
the
yeah.
movie theater.
Over that, yes, yep,
Yeah.
that's where it was. That's when we would all go.
My
see.
mom just said she couldn't remember the name, but she remembers where it was.
Shout out to Carol back in
Yeah.
the day.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean,
Might have bought her a beer back then. Chase, like, watch your mouth. You just did your last show,
watch
buddy.
it. You watch it.
Oh man.
Rainbow Key. I mean, that's like I love playing that game of like places you used to hang out. Like we were texting with Ricky earlier, the fake ID question.
Yeah,
You know, and like a lot of people got one to get into places.
that's exactly right. Yeah.
Like, you know, Second Avenue used to, like, before Broadway became what Broadway is now, Second Ave was kind of the spot downtown.
Well, I mean, Graham Central Station.
Yep. Hurricanes was one.
Hurricanes was one. Graham Central with the 5 different levels.
Yep.
JoJo was knocking them out of the park back then.
I bet you were.
Some good times, man.
Carol says stop, by the way. She's listening. There was a barbecue place in Lion's Head. I can't remember the name. 8354.
Oh, I don't remember.
I'm not sure either.
No,
Yeah. I was going to say something else and then I got distracted. So we'll come back with what day is it and celebrity birthdays on this Friday. Chase and Big Joe, 102.5 The Game. Chasing Big Joe 102.5 The Game here on this Friday. Wrapping things up this week. DVD coming your way in a few minutes. Connor Newt and Adam Vingan will be having that for you.
Hey, microphone works. Have
Yeah.
you heard this new game phrase, mahjong? That they're all the women are playing this.
Oh, yeah.
mahjong, and they dress up, and it's a game about tiles or something.
Kelly Ripa is a big fan of that.
Yes, is she?
She talks about it on her show.
Kelly
Like,
Regis and Kelly,
Mark and Kelly.
Mark and Kelly. Okay,
Or Kelly and Mark. Or
Kelly
whatever.
and Mark.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like taking over like bars and restaurants.
I don't know what it is.
It's a game of tiles.
Yeah.
But it's popular. I don't know what the strategy is. Like for me, we had Stratego and Risk. I mean, we just go blow things up.
Well, I mean, you and I go do Bunko on Wednesday nights.
We love Bunko.
Yes, we do.
Shout out to Sally in Lebanon, who's always kicking our ass at Bunko.
Dr. Crane had her last week, though.
So close.
Came down to the wire. Then she pulled that number 4, and you're like, dadgummit.
I gotta find a local area where they play Press Your Luck. I've been watching on the game show now. We were telling Chris earlier. That is the most fun I watch on television right now. No
Press Your Luck?
whammies, baby.
The
No whammies.
1980s show, Press Your Luck?
Yes, but they have a more current version of it.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
Let me guess who hosts it. Steve Harvey?
No, it's some female. I forget her name. I apologize. Blonde hair girl. She's in Hunger Games and a few other things.
Okay. I was trying to see the screener. The streaming computer. We're still in break. Do some work back there. Come on.
Sorry.
Not you.
My bad.
Let's get to what day is it and celebrity birthdays.
Okay, a short list today. And according to my, there we go. That is a short list, not AARP. All right, National Tell an Old Joke Day. It's Joe every day, Monday through Thursday. Amelia Earhart Day is today. Cousins Day is today. National Drive-Through Day today. National Tequila Day. National Thermal Engineering Day. And last but not least, Pioneer Day.
Pioneer
Nice.
Day. You know who would make the worst pioneer?
Is that?
Joe Dubin.
Why is that?
Because I can't kill, I can't hunt, I can't cook anything. There's no microwave back in the 1800s. I'd be dead in a day.
Would be all right, Chase. We'll be all right.
And like if the ice storm came through back those days, I'd just say I'm done. I'd walk off a cliff.
0667 says, I play Mahjong all the time on my phone when bored at work.
All right, we need to look
And
at
my
this.
mom said like her friend and our aunt plays it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
See, now you learned something
Yeah.
there. We're going to get into Mahjong. We'll do it. We'll become the legendary Mahjong players on the show.
Are you sure you're pronouncing that properly?
It's how do you think
It is. I think it's
Okay.
Mahjong.
It just sounds a bit
I know it
off.
sounds something different. But
well, I would say there's a word, but I really like this job and I don't want to lose it. All right, time for celebrity birthdays. Get these within 2 of their actual how old they are. All right, Dr. Crane, you'll go first. How old is former New England Patriot quarterback who with a big neck roll, Steve Grogan? How old's Steve Grogan today?
is he up first?
Yeah, Dr. Crane.
Steve Grogan is 61.
67.
73. Chaser, how old is former Georgia kicker, Chicago Bears kicker, Kevin Butler?
I'm shocked that you're acknowledging a kicker on this show.
It's a
I'm
kicker, not a
proud of
punter. If he's a punter, we wouldn't do it.
you. 63.
60.
64. Chase up 1-0. Dr. Crane, how old is the mailman, Carl Malone, today?
Oh boy. 69.
67.
63. Chaser, how old is Barry Bonds?
59.
58.
62. Dr. Crane, how old is former Cincinnati Red catcher Joe Oliver? I think he might have been a former Nashville Sound, too.
Joe Oliver. 53.
63.
61. Chase up 2-0. Chase, how old is the worst athlete actor of all time? Rick Fox.
67.
60.
57. Dr. Crane, how old is our very good friend? He works down the street, but that's okay. We love him. Blaine Bishop, the hitman.
The hitman. Blaine Bishop is 54.
Happy birthday, Hitman. Yeah, we do like Blaine. He is 56.
56 exactly. Chase up 4-0. Chaser, how old is Patrice Bergeron?
He is 39.
37.
He is 41. Chase up 5-0. Dr. Crane, how old is Kramer? Michael Richards.
68.
Probably close. 70.
77.
Wow.
Chaser, how old is Jennifer Lopez?
Kramer's almost 80.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? That show went off the air in 1998.
I know. That's crazy. Who was the other? I'm sorry.
Jennifer Lopez.
J-Lo is 55.
57.
57 exactly. 5-2. All right, lightning round. Here we go, Dr. Crane. How old is friend of the show, actor Chris Sarandon? We had him on last year.
Oh, we did.
Chris is 49.
71.
84. Chaser, how old is Robert Hayes? He was the actor in the movie Airplane, the main actor.
Oh, that's sweating. And yeah. 76.
70.
79. Dr. Crane, how old is Wonder Woman, Linda Carter?
80.
75.
75 exactly. Chase up 7-2.
My
Chase,
dad went on a date with her.
Linda
supposedly.
Carter?
Yeah.
I bet your dad went on a date with this next lady, Pam Tillis.
I don't know. Pam Tillis is 73.
71.
69. Dr. Crane's on the score. 7-3 now. Let's see here. Let's go down. Somebody's never heard of. Dr. Crane, country singer Jared Neiman.
Jared Neiman.
Oh, man. Let's go 58.
41.
47. Chaser, how does actor Kadeem Hardison play Dwayne Wayne on A Different World?
57.
59.
61. It's now 7-4. Getting crunch time here a little bit. Dr. Crane, how old is Steve Irwin's daughter? Is it Bindi or Bindy?
Bindi.
Bindi Irwin. How old is Bindi Irwin?
Bindi is 26.
27.
28. Chase closer. Chase wins 8-4.
Darn. Close. But he's back in full force.
Good way
folks.
to close the week.
Yeah, I mean, you're getting better, Dr. Crane. You got to study a little bit harder.
Yeah, he's
always
good.
like that. People are like, maybe you should study hard. I'm like, yeah, that's the point of the game.
It's cheating, but okay.
Right.
Dustin in Hopkinsville says J-Lo has aged so well. One hot tamale.
I'm not going to disagree with that. I'm not going to disagree at all, man.
It's like they inject the tamale with Botox. Just saying.
What's wrong with that?
There's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying, like, if we're doing food
Is there
reference,
a deeper meaning here?
I'm just saying,
that we're missing?
if we're making a tamale reference, they inject tamales. Yeah, never mind.
Oh, yeah. Now you get it. You know who was a spicy number, though? Charo. You even know who Charo is, do you?
Churros are pretty good.
Charo.
The sugar dessert, yeah.
She was an actress. Was on the Love Boat like every week.
I know. I'm joking. I know that.
Yeah. Thank you, though, for that.
Well, speaking of a spicy person, Adam Vingan and Connor Newt coming up next with DVD.
They are. Listen, our message all the time, even when we're not here, it's still for guys out there. If you are struggling and if it's a rough day, it's a tough day, I understand it. But listen, you're still here. You've survived every bad day you've been through. Just know how powerful you are. And I tell you all the time, man, we need you here. Main reason, you still have not met all the people who are going to love you. Know that. You've not met all the people who are going to love you. Do something for yourself this weekend. It's not selfish, it's deserving. We need big, strong, powerful men in this world, and I need you to go to therapy. UnityCares.com. I need you to go to therapy. I need you here. Get it off your chest because I know you're powerful. Know how much we love you. Please reach out to us. We'll talk to you anytime, anywhere to help you through whatever you're going through. But please know this, more importantly, more than anything else you'll ever know, please know how much God truly loves you.
Amen to that. Peace, love, rock and roll. DVD coming up next. 102.5 The Game.